People watch Jake Paul's fights to see him get knocked out. Who would have thought that Anthony Joshua would ever step foot in a ring with Jake Paul?
And then last night, 50 Cent came out. Are you aware? Do you know these type of things?
Eubank and Benn were harder to get to.
Is this game a lonely game for you?
Some form of sexual harassment, for sure. We've talked about it. There's other women, we've all talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you should say something, or do you feel like you can't?
You can't.
Why can't you?
Yeah. You'll lose every opportunity you have. The Usyk-Dubois fight in Poland was my Oscars moment.
Right.
That's how it felt.
Was you invited to a couple of Diddy parties?
Once.
Okay.
The white party. No one's networking at these parties like that. I've never been starstruck, and I want to be. I've never wanted kids my whole life. Well, now I'm hearing Floyd versus Pacquiao because Pacquiao said that they're doing a fight.
Isn't the Andrew Tate fight on the same day?
Mike in this prime, ain't no way.
Are you doing too much?
My relationship with God's really strong, and I don't say it as in I would have ever have done it, but I found myself for the very first time thinking about myself. And I don't mean that I ever would have done it because I didn't do it, but I couldn't believe that that's where my mind was.
Right.
Like, where are you? Hey, Fight fans, I'm Michelle Joy Phelps, and I am here in London where I got an opportunity to be on the Shizio show.
That's our intro right there.
The Shizio show.
You got it?
Yes, the Shizio show.
Oh, you got that.
Tune in. You're not gonna want to miss this one.
Corners better learn to drift. Porsches, Beamers, Skyline. Boy, don't test me. All these horses, someone tell me. How they gonna stop us if we got the drive? Beyond these streets, your tank reads empty. Too much power, someone tell me. How you gonna stop us if we got the drive? How you gonna stop us if we got the drive? You wanna ride with me? Drive.
Okay, we are back. Another episode. Love to everybody subscribing as per usual, hitting that button. We love to see it. Real special guest, international guest in the building, fresh off fight night. It was the Eubank and Benn fight last night. I am shocked that you're here, but we are absolutely honoured. Side note, this is the world record for earliest filming. We are up so early, and it's a Sunday, so that's a double record right there. Michelle Joy Phelps is in the building.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Sis, what's happening?
I know, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to make this work, but I'm glad that we did.
It's true.
Yeah.
Side note, you've come with about 30 suitcases outside.
Yes.
You aren't moving in.
I did warn you.
No, it's true.
I did say, look, I got a lot of luggage.
Yeah.
So if we're doing this, we got to make sure you know how much luggage I got.
I hear you. Is there a reason for that? Or is that just how you roll?
Well, it's how I roll, but I would have had 3 bags if it permitted me, but you know.
And you were here for how long?
Well, I'm here for what was it? Wednesday,
Thursday.
So basically 4 days, and then I'm going to Riyadh for 8 days.
Right.
So and you understand they're 2 different
cultures and
weather and stuff. So I'm like packing.
Swagger changes.
One requires bulkier jackets and sweaters, and the other one's, not so much.
I hear you.
So
you're going from there to there. That's quite a thing you have going on. We're gonna cover all of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna just put questions out because you have a flight to catch. So I'm just gonna hit you as they come in. Assessment of last night. We might as well start there. Benn and Eubank. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I wasn't here for the first one.
Right, I was.
You were?
I was there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So then I guess the question goes to you, because I wasn't here the first time and everyone was saying the atmosphere, media week buildup, everything was bigger than it was this time around. I guess there wasn't as much
I think because it was the
anticipation.
I think it was the first time round. Everyone didn't know what to expect. Perhaps I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's obviously if you're born and raised in the UK, you know about their fathers, and you know so that's all building up the hype. And the fact that his dad was against him as well, Eubank. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of
drama.
There was a lot of EastEnders going on. Just drama. There was a lot of that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think perhaps that's why, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people thought this time around Eubank would just do the same thing.
I think that was the thing. I think most people assumed that it was going to be a repeat.
Right.
Because when I kept asking repeat or revenge, everyone was like, oh, repeat.
Right.
So it's always, and I don't say fun as in it's fun to watch someone lose, because obviously when you know both sides, you're kind of like, you never are too happy.
Right.
But you're also wanting to applaud them for their success.
Yeah.
I found that this time around, it just felt like people, because they expected Eubank to win, getting to see what Conor has gone through.
Yeah.
And I have been able to be a part of the process in terms of how I've been interviewing him along the way of all the stuff he's had to go through, not just loss, but through the allegations and all of that. So there'd be times where he's done this on camera with an interview of ours where he cried. And I really felt what he was going through. So last night, to see him up there and to see, like, he was saying, I just want to cry. And I totally felt that in my heart, because when you've gone through so much adversity and you finally get to breathe a sigh of relief, only people who've been through some real deep, heavy stuff can truly relate to that. That feeling of, oh my God, this is over.
Is it hard for you, I suppose, when you're interviewing to maintain a balance? Can you have a favorite and stuff like that? Can you kind of voice that?
No. And I never have. And that's the thing is, I remember when I first started in my career, everyone's like, well, everyone predicts. That's what professionals do. We predict.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. That's just not my style. I just never wanted to do
that.
that.
But internally, you obviously, everyone's human, right?
Sometimes you think, no. Sometimes because you get to kind of spend time in camp with everybody, you really do see everyone looks great, or sometimes they look great. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know, man. They don't really look focused. But for the most part, I don't really get invested like that. There have been times, obviously, I think the one that I can go back to that made me really, really nervous was when Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought. Now, I don't know how long you followed my career or not, but I will say this much, like, if anyone was interviewing all the heavyweights, it was me, and I was constantly going back and forth, like, so-and-so said this, so-and-so saying that, and so I'm just like, right, but I'm just repeating what everyone's saying, and I'm trying to get everyone's side of the story, and so I got really invested in that one because Deontay, he was one of my very first interviews in my career.
Right.
Tyson, great friend, love his family, and that one I felt sick to my stomach. Because at any point in the heavyweight division, it takes one punch to just send someone to the canvas.
Of course.
And I was just like nervous. I'm like thinking, oh my God, is somebody going to get knocked out? Is everyone going to be okay?
Right.
I felt nauseous ringside. And I'm not usually the one to really show emotion ringside because you're not supposed to. I mean, people do, but you're not supposed to. Sorry, my nose keeps running.
No, go on.
And
but you're human though. You got to have
right.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that said, I was like, you know what I mean? Like I was doing the whole, did I just drop something?
I don't
that was
know.
my phone.
It's fine,
okay.
it's fine.
And I was grabbing, I mean, I swear to you, if they had cameras on the media section, we were all just freaking out.
Right.
But it was that type of fight, right? It was exciting. And so, yeah, sometimes I do find myself getting invested, but not because you want one to win and one to lose, but because it's bittersweet.
But there must be times where you thought, oh, this motherfucker needs to get knocked out. He's annoying the shit out all week. This come on, be honest.
No,
I don't want names. I'm just saying. Come on.
No, I know, but
everyone can't be nice to you.
Honest to God, maybe I'm just like that. Maybe I'm too nice in that way.
Right.
Like I really don't.
Okay.
Try to think that way.
Okay.
And even with people that I may not have like really gotten on with or didn't have a relationship with, I didn't wish that they lost or got brutally knocked out.
Okay.
But and I don't know, maybe I am known to be too nice, so maybe that's it.
And then just going back to last night, the atmosphere, you said it wasn't like the first one.
Well, I wasn't there for the first one.
But how was that atmosphere?
I loved it because last night, or this media week, was my first time back in almost a year.
Right.
I've taken an entire year off from boxing. I sat there and just for a moment, I just remembered like what it was like to see the atmosphere at a UK fight again. Like
Right.
it felt that my first event that I covered here was Frotch Grove 2.
Okay.
So
Taking
that
it way
was
back.
like, yeah, but that was something else, you know?
Right.
So I always love the energy with everyone singing Sweet Caroline and just the whole thing. And so I sat there for a second and I go, I'm really happy to be here.
Right.
Even if I didn't care if I was chasing interviews or not, or
Yeah.
whatever I was doing. None of that mattered at that point. It was just a moment for me I felt like I was happy to be back.
But is like Frock Grove your kind of level, your bar as to atmosphere that you...
Well, it definitely set the bar, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but is that the highest for you here? Like, looking back.
No, I mean, AJ has had a lot of incredible, stadium
Yeah.
fights. I remember one of the fun ones also was AJ when he fought Klitschko.
Right.
Now, that was a scene.
Yeah.
And, Klitschko being the legend he is, that was pretty incredible to witness. So there's been a lot of them, to be honest. But I just mean, like, in terms of feeling that type of atmosphere and excitement from everybody attending.
And then last night, 50 Cent came out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware? Do you know these type of things, being backstage and stuff like that?
Normally I do, but I didn't know that one.
Right.
I didn't hear that. I knew that there were rappers. They were talking about
right.
but there's so many rappers.
Does all that bother
around.
you, or have
It's
you been around this for too long? It's just like, whatever now.
Does it bother me?
Like, oh yeah, look, it's 50 Cent, or it's whatever, yeah.
No. To be honest with you, I was just having this conversation with somebody last night, and I
Right.
said, there's one person that you have not met yet, that if you met, you'd be starstruck. Who would it be?
Right. Who would it be?
But I don't have anybody.
Right.
Because every person I've ever met, because prior to this as well, I was in the entertainment industry.
Right.
So you're around actors all the time and
Right.
different famous people, and I've never been starstruck, and I want to be. Like,
But,
I want to.
But you
I
must
want
have at
to
some
have,
point.
No.
What? Even when you first started?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, as God is.
There's gotta be
You know
someone.
what? No, I'm actually envious of people who have been starstruck.
You don't want. Why?
Because
But it's lovely.
It's exciting when you
It
get
is.
to meet somebody. Like, I remember I was absolutely in love with Justin Timberlake when I was young, right? In sync. It was all about JT.
Right.
And then I finally got to meet him at a club in Hollywood, and I felt nothing.
Was this like 20 years later when you're like...
No, it wasn't. He was. I think this is. He wasn't married yet.
You thought nothing?
I can't remember who he was dating at the time, but he was still very much like all in the tabloids.
Right.
His album had just come out.
Right.
But I thought, and it's funny because my cousin would totally vouch for this, because she's like, I'm just so surprised that I just expected you to act so differently.
Are you just heartless? Are you a heartless...
I'm starting to question, like, is something
Are you
wrong
like
with me?
stone cold? Are you stone cold in
maybe
there?
in that way I am, because I want to feel like, oh my God, that's so and so, but I don't.
Okay, fair enough. When you're actually at the fights, how hard is it to kind of like watch a fight? Because I know you're thinking about the interviews. I've seen you at one event, it was a Misfits one, and you was hustling, like, and I get the hustle. Let's go here. The press conference is there. Like how much can you actually take? Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, the way that it normally works is obviously when one fight's over, they bring them backstage, and at some point we're there to interview them, but the other fight's already going.
Right.
So it's hard to balance, because sometimes you have to turn away from one interview and go, I got to go out and watch.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what's going on. Like, sometimes they're bringing them back faster than the next card's up, and you're just like, who won? What happened? I didn't even get to see anything.
Right.
And so a lot of times too, there's no TVs backstage, so you don't even get to see what's going on
Why
between
is there no
rounds. But
TVs
then
backstage?
but then when you're back there and they're bringing the next guy out, you almost feel bad, because you go, I'm so sorry, I didn't even see what happened. Like, did you win? Like, did you win? Did you lose? Like, what's going on? Right. And that's the difficult part. That's the part people don't see too, because you're like, you should be watching the fight before you interview someone.
Yeah, exactly. Establishing a name, how kind of hard has that been? Because I know you've been in this game for years and years. How long have you been in this game?
Going on 14 years in January.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're at a comfortable point, I suppose, where everyone is familiar with you. But how hard has that been for you to kind of carve a name for you and a lane?
That journey, it's funny because I look back and a big part of it feels like a blur.
Right.
I remember pivotal moments, But I feel like, like it's like childhood where
Right.
you remember certain things, but other things you're like, was I there? And you're like, you're totally there. I have a lot of that. And I think it was because I was doing way too much. I didn't pace myself because the idea was be at everything, develop the relationships, get the interviews, let everyone know who you are so you get better access.
Right.
And it was always like that hustle. And because of that, there's a lot I don't remember.
Okay.
Which is strange.
I know what you mean, because you're forever going.
Yeah, and it's like you've been to so many. I couldn't even say, like, probably over 14. I want to say probably equates to maybe 1,000 or maybe just under 1,000 fights. I don't know how many that equates to in
a lot of hours.
14 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have never counted. You'd think I would have. I should have been journaling and keeping track a lot. I mean, aside from like the press passes that you get that you keep for it's keepsake memories. Oh yeah, tons.
Yeah.
So many. I mean, I have a huge box full of them.
eBay.
And
Retirement.
eBay.
Retirement.
No, one day what I want to do is I want my own like man cave.
Right.
So I want to eventually, when I buy my first home, I want to put in the man cave. I want to have them on the wall, laminated into the wall. So that when someone sees, like, there's just so many different.
What else is going in this man cave?
I haven't really thought about that, to be honest.
Well, you can't have a wall. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, a man cave meaning it's obviously meant to.
But why can't it be a female's
like
cave?
my career, it's gonna have gloves and signed gloves.
How many of them have you got?
A lot. You know what though? I haven't even been. I never asked for anything signed.
Right.
It wasn't even till maybe a few years ago I asked Tyson Fury, "Hey, do you mind signing this for me? I have nothing signed from you." And he signed a photograph of us because I was on the tours that he would do where he's like speaking in front of live audiences. And I actually got most of my signed gloves from a friend of mine who works closely with people over at Golden Boy.
Right.
And I got some real old school ones, like
vintage
ones. And yeah, so I most of my signed gloves have actually come from like ages ago. I don't have anything recent.
But eBay in the future?
No.
Why not?
Because
retirement plan. I respect it.
No, I mean, I want to keep them. They'll go in my will.
I'll give you a tip. The next time you're out there, get them to sign 2 in it. One for the cave and one for the retirement plan. I want to get into, if we possible, what actually got you into this. Can we just have a little deep dive into kind of born and raised? Obviously, you're American.
Yeah.
Can we just give the people?
I started doing boxing interviews after I was posting videos on my YouTube page at the time that had, I think, maybe 12 subscribers. And I was just talking about the fight that night.
Right.
So I just put up a video talking about it. And then, but at the time I was living in Hollywood, going on auditions.
Right, so you had the Hollywood dream.
Yeah. I wanted to be a TV host.
Right.
So like entertainment host.
Okay.
And it's funny enough, I wanted to be a soap actress.
Right. All right.
I still think I would have been really good at that. But so that was the dream. And so I was there doing that, going to auditions, doing some stuff. I was doing some print work. Because I think a lot of people get confused. I think in boxing, things are very conservative. So the fact that I've come from like a Maxim FHM background,
right.
I think people today don't really understand that.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh,
You're the first
sexy
to do it.
images. And I'm like, yeah, I did that before.
Right.
So for me, that was normal.
Yeah.
But to some people, it's like, you're a reporter. And it's like, okay, I get it. I get it now, being older. Like, things change. But that's just what my background was. So when I came on the scene, there was a lot of like interest around that. Like, what are you doing here? Like, what exactly are you doing? And YouTube was quite new. So a lot of people didn't have YouTube pages. They didn't. Right. So when publicists were like, well, where's your content going? I'm like, oh, my YouTube page.
What's that? And
they're like, yeah, what's that? What do you mean? What do we need a YouTube page? I'm like, oh, you can put videos up there. So I did that, and I started to get like people reaching out going, hey, do you want to work for my outlet? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And initially it didn't even pay.
Right.
It was just experience, really.
Yeah.
So I took the experience, and I really noticed that there just was no women doing
Right.
or in the industry aside from the behind the scenes like
Right.
PR. There were very select, and people I'm still close with to this day.
Yeah.
The OGs, there wasn't anyone there. So I told the people that I was doing like internship work for, hey, I think I'm going to start my own YouTube channel.
Right.
And I just didn't want to step on any toes, like just letting you know, like that's the goal. And then I did. I was sitting down. My brother goes, well, what would you want to name it? I go, I don't know. And he goes, what about Behind the Gloves? And I said, nah, that's too good. It's probably not available. So he went on GoDaddy and he goes, it's actually available. I'm like, oh shoot, let's get it.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
That's how that started.
Yeah.
Let me just put a pin in that and go back. Are you West Coast or East Coast?
West Coast.
Right. What Hollywood area is that? Where in the
I
West
was
Coast?
living there,
Right.
but I'm from a place called Marietta. Or not from, that's where I lived most of my
Right. childhood,
but I also lived in Hawaii for a couple of years as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your background and what, like family-wise, heritage-wise?
So mostly it's a bit of a mixture of
Okay.
things, but for the most part, it's mostly Native American, Spanish, French, Canadian, German.
I'm
Yeah.
lost already. What does Native American mean?
I think you guys here would call it like the feather Indian.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you guys call it, right?
Real old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Feather Indian.
Right, okay. And then, so you're in the West Coast growing up?
Yes.
Right, and is that the dream then? The dream is the Hollywood dream? Because
Yes.
that does get pushed a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And from that you get into modelling.
Yes. In the process, I got to book some stuff. And
How
then
did you get into modelling?
it kind of fell into my lap because there were, again, everyone, you know so many people in the industry.
Right.
When
How
I
do you know these people?
And that's what I'm saying. It just happens. Like over time, because it's such a small, it really is a small town. Like
Well,
you
Hollywood.
don't, yes.
It's like
Everyone knows
everyone's
everyone.
doing it though, isn't it? Everyone wants to get there. Even,
Right, like-
even the waiters are giving you fucking scripts.
Right, but that's just how it is. It's
Right.
it's very incestuous in that way. It's
Right.
just everybody knows everybody, and it's like I actually believe it's less than 6 degrees of separation with knowing someone. I feel like it's like 2 degrees separation.
Right.
Because there's somebody who knows somebody, you know somebody, and you're like all know each other somehow, and it
Right.
just grows. And you know, I would say I was a social butterfly. So I got to know a lot of people, and then some of my friends, as time goes on, we're getting older. A lot of my friends were Hollywood producers, and they're shooting films. They got so and so. And you get to meet everybody, and it's just.
Is it more about who you know then?
That's in any industry.
Yeah. No, but at least you're honest about it. I know that, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't say that. They go, no, talent.
No, it absolutely is.
How much is it about who you know and the building up a rapport as opposed to just sheer talent? A percentage, where would you put it?
It's definitely not 50-50.
Right.
Probably 70-30.
70 in who you know. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's true though.
Oh yeah, no, it's true, because think of it this way. If your agent is really good friends with the casting director, would you think they're not going to consider your client over someone who just walked in?
It's big facts.
It is what
but
it is.
Some people just, I don't know if they don't want to, they're like, they just don't want to think that that's true.
It's absolutely true.
Right.
Every job I've ever booked in boxing in terms of broadcast has always been through somebody I've met in boxing.
No?
Because they know me.
You keep it 100.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it didn't come some random call out of nowhere. It
Yeah.
was like, hey, we've worked with you before. Do you want to do this? Or hey, do you want to do that?
Did you want to be a model or did you want to be a presenter?
No, I
first?
hated it. I never even saw myself as model material. I look back and I think, I don't even really think that
Right.
all that great.
But you're in FHM,
Yeah.
all of those kind of, we call them lads mags, do we call them
Yeah,
lads mags? Yeah. How was that environment for you? How was your experience in that world?
I mean, I think it's like anything. I never really was cover material, because cover material you have to be more explicit.
Right.
And I wasn't.
Right.
You know, anyone who found my photos online was like, okay, that's pretty much like, you know,
Conservative.
bikinis and lingerie, but it wasn't, you know, back shots and,
Right.
and different things. And I'm not trying to like, you know, put anyone down for doing that, but that just wasn't what I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. So I knew I was never going to make a cover, but I always had like 4 to 6 page spreads.
Right.
And it was cool. I mean, you gotta understand this before social media. So to be in a printed magazine was a big deal.
Absolutely.
But multiple magazines, that was cool. It's not like today where everything's a bit digital. So it's nice to be able to like go in the box under the bed and pull out the old gems.
Man cave, you can have them up in the man cave. See, look, that's
perhaps.
the other wall. I'm sorting out your walls for you. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But did you get offers to be on the cover?
No, because I would never
but,
make the cover.
Yeah, but would they offer it? Say, listen, if you did this, you will give. Do you get what I'm saying?
The conversation has come up with like the booking agent and been like, well, if you did, then you could be considered. But I didn't.
How much pressure is that for you to maybe to like advance your career? Do you know what I mean? Like obviously a lot of girls would just be like.
Back then, Maxim was a big deal.
Yeah, Maxim, FHM, they're like the top. Yeah.
Today it's a bit different, isn't it?
Right,
Like
so
you
that's
don't
what I
really
mean.
hear about it. But back then it was a big deal, especially like the Maxim 100 party that would happen every year in Hollywood. It was a big deal if you had got your foot through the door in that way. But I don't know. I just never wanted to do it. I never, it's not even that I didn't see myself as like sexy. I just didn't, that wasn't me. I didn't have that, some women, they can walk in and just, they have that sex appeal. And I just felt like that was not me and that wasn't what I was pushing.
Right.
But the opportunity was there and I got magazines out of it.
Right.
But I would never saw it as like, this is
a stepping stone for you.
Right. It was just something that I got to do.
Does it like pay good in those days?
No. Which is why, like, even with people who do OnlyFans, like people who are just doing like sexy images, right? When you look at that, you kind of have to look at it as it's their digital magazine.
Yeah.
So whereas you get paid one flat fee to be in a magazine, so let's just say you got paid £500 to be in a magazine, right? You got one flat fee and it sells how many copies?
Yeah, you don't get the.
You don't get residuals. But if you did your own digital magazine on somewhere else, or even, I'm not even just saying that, people have their own websites and stuff now. They sell their own, they make calendars, they sell their own content. You profit off of every image you sell. So it makes sense why some people look at it that way, as opposed to, I'm not going to go give my likeness and image away to a magazine that's going to pay me basically peanuts.
Yeah.
When I could be making all the money and profiting myself. So just how you look at it.
How are the other girls in that industry? Is it very catty or is it?
Can I be honest with you?
You got to be, girl.
I feel like the girls that were around at that time, I'm noticing a lot of them are caught up in this Diddy stuff.
Oh, swear. Was you invited to a couple of Diddy parties?
Once.
Okay.
The white party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where? In the Hamptons?
No, it was somewhere in Bel Air. I just remember that. It was ages ago. I didn't actually go, but we were meant to, and there was too many, like, crowds and the parking. It was nuts. And so by the time we were even like up to where we were supposed to go, everyone was pretty much leaving.
Right.
So, but I never actually like got to go to the party.
Okay.
And it wasn't me that was invited. It was a friend who was invited who I actually went with or was going to go with.
Yeah.
Anyways, I noticed that a lot of those girls are now like, I'm starting to see their image out in a negative light.
You're like, I know you.
Like, I know you from back in the day.
I know you, girl.
Yeah.
I hear you. But then when you're around Hollywood and you look a certain way, there must be so many parties you're invited to.
Yeah, that's endless. That's
kind
endless.
of normality. But how much of that is a balance between I need to go to kind of build a rapport with people, like you said, as opposed to like, I'm not really about.
Going to parties has absolutely nothing to do with building your career. So when people say, oh, I go there to network, no, you don't. No one's networking at these parties like that.
But surely if you're meeting someone, oh, I see you at
no,
so how are you?
If you're going to say an industry event,
right?
That's not a club. That's not a party. Industry events are not the same thing as going clubbing in Hollywood. Going clubbing, yes, you're around all these people, but no one's there to like chat it up with you and talk about your career.
Right.
But if you happen to get invited to, say, a studio party where it was Paramount is putting on, you know.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, but those are like companies.
They're like,
putting
right,
that.
but that's my point.
Right.
That's where you're going to meet people.
Right.
Because usually, for most of the movers and shakers of the world, they're not partying.
I hear you.
They're not partying.
Right.
They've got other things to do.
Yeah. But when you're young, you don't realize that.
No,
You're
you
out,
don't.
you want to get your face out.
And you think, you tell yourself that, no, it's maybe this or maybe that. And then 10 out of 10 times, it's who you think you meet are just trying to like see if you might be down for like something else.
Yeah.
It's not even about like actually helping your career. It's
Right.
very much, Hollywood is very much a casting couch.
Yes.
I don't care what anyone says. I've seen it. I've literally have been compromised 3 times in 3 instances where I was told if I did this, I'd get the part.
Right.
And never did it.
Right.
So I often say to myself,
Are these
like,
big
I feel
roles?
like, for me at the time, they're big roles
Right.
because you think like it's something, right? Oh my God, you get to be on TV. Oh my God, this opportunity to film, even though you think it's a smaller role,
Yeah.
it's still an opportunity to say you did something. So I found I had too many morals to make it in that industry.
Yeah. But then that leaves the question, and the ones that have made it, their morals have been questioned throughout.
Who knows?
But there's a high percentage.
I promise you, every single. Why do you think the Me Too movement was so big? Because even women after they've made it, even women who have been, what you would look on screen and say they're highly successful, they were still being compromised. So when does it end?
Yeah.
You do it once, it's expected to happen throughout the duration of your career.
Where does that come from in you to have a moral stance so high, I suppose, and be like, no, I'm not doing that. True, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. Do you know where that comes from? Is that an upbringing thing, or?
I want to say it's upbringing, but also just like a personal relationship with God.
Right.
Like deep inside, I just know there's things I would never do for a job.
Right.
I just never will. And I'm fully confident that if I just don't get the role, I don't get the part, whatever it is, then that's just the way that it is. I'm not someone who feels like I have to do this to get my foot through the door. So maybe my journey in many ways has felt more long-winded than some. But I know, like again, like last night, sitting there, feeling the atmosphere, nothing about that experience feels negative because it's been tainted because I've had to do something to be there.
Right. I get that.
And I think that matters to me most. Like, I could imagine why so many successful people are on drugs. Is it because you had been compromised and you did it, and maybe there's
Numbing
a
the
part
pain.
of you that feels so not good about yourself for what you had to do to be there, and so you can't fully enjoy the moment because you were compromised.
Yeah. The other flip side to that is like they have everything they want, and there's nothing else to fucking do. Do you know what I
But
mean?
like, and I don't like using this loosely because it can be taken as, oh, you're sounding like a conspiracy theorist now. But in a way, it really is like selling your soul because it's that feeling of when you were a kid and oh my God, like that dream.
Yeah.
And then someone comes and takes that. But I think that's part of the exchange, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what some people get a high off of.
And I think a lot of people come to the realization like you can't make it unless you do that.
Yeah, and that's not true.
Let me just adjust this. Right, go on.
That's not true. I mean,
but that's what's put out there to a lot of people. It's like you will never make it unless
will your process be fast tracked?
because
Sure.
the gatekeepers are so. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be fast tracked.
Right.
So do you want to? Most people, we live in a microwave generation.
Yeah.
Everything is instant. No one wants to put in the long road. No one wants to go down the wrong
They
road.
wanna be famous tomorrow.
really? Right. Who really does though? Right.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think it's something as you get older, you learn. Like I have now learned that I don't look at things the same anymore. I don't see it as the long road.
Right.
I'm trying to really live in the journey
Right.
because we're always so fixated on the destination.
Absolutely.
And it's natural to be. It's natural to go, I want a house, I want a family, I want these things. But we're not in a movie where it goes from one scene you meet the person, the next scene you're falling in love, the next scene you're married. It doesn't work that way. And I think we've programmed ourselves to think that maybe it does. And so when it doesn't happen the way you think it should happen, you get disappointed, you get frustrated, you get impatient. But like, I'm trying to step back and go, this is the time right now that you're never going to get back, because once you hit that mark, what's next?
So it's funny you say that. I sit with people that have made it millionaires, and the journey is the best part.
Yeah.
So if you don't,
you never see it that way though,
they
because
don't see it.
because you're
so busy.
you're busy, or you're frustrated, or you're still broke. You don't have what you want yet. Why can't I afford what I want? I've been doing this forever. What's going on?
Yeah.
But it's like that refining moment where you find yourself, when you look back and you go, oh my God, those were the years. Those were the times that I should have appreciated a bit more, but you didn't. And then you find that once you're there, and I hear this from people who've hit that pinnacle point, like you said, and they look back and they go, what's next?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing left because they've done it all.
Yeah.
So what do I do now? And then a lot of times there really isn't much more they can do because they've kind of done it all. But they didn't take that time to really live in that moment. And so I'm trying my best to be more present.
And mindful
of the journey.
Just a quick one. Have you got any advice for any females in Hollywood that are trying to pursue? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm nobody to preach about Hollywood.
No, it's not about preaching, but it's about someone that's lived that experience. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I mean, just I would hope that someone would go in and say, I'm not going to let someone take my dream from me.
Right.
I'm not going to let somebody rob me of my dream by compromising who I am.
But a lot of people, they dangle that dream in front of you, right? And say, here's the dream, follow this. Do you know what I mean?
But we have the power of choice.
Yes.
And so oftentimes you see somebody and they look like they're on the right path, and then fast forward 10 years and you go, where did it all go wrong? You at some point didn't think about what, if you did this or say yes to this, or no to that, you didn't think about what it might look like if I did that. I try to do that now.
You seem to be very like level-headed. I feel like you should bring a book out or something. No, but to help people, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, I think I've been through a lot, and I'm still going through a lot. And this, like, I took the year off of boxing, and a lot of people don't really know why. Like, they're just like, where did you go? And I think a lot of people associated it with me going back to school.
Right.
So I decided at 39 that I was going to go back to college.
Yeah.
And get my bachelor's degree to go to law school, because I want to do sports and entertainment law.
Right.
And
where did that come from? I want to do that. That's a specific thing. Lane I want to go down.
I think, well, anyone who knows me goes, dude, you like to debate everything. You'll literally talk about anything, but only if I know what I'm talking about. If I know that you're wrong, we're going to have it, because then I will pull every receipt out.
Next, you know what I mean? Like, argument. In 2015, you did that much.
Yeah, like I'm just that very factual.
Right.
I've always said I'm facts over feelings, and it's not that I don't care about someone's feelings. It's not that at all.
Right.
But if your whole argument is based off of an emotion, that doesn't work for me.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's like, why are you feeling this way?
Yeah.
Why do you feel this way? I just feel like this is this. Where is the facts of it? Like, where, like, you're not going to go into court and go, Your Honor, I feel that this person killed my sister.
Right.
Feeling is not the same as proving.
Right.
So I'm very much black and white in that area. So my dad would always say, God, you should have been a lawyer. You're in the wrong industry. You should have been a lawyer, because I always do that.
Right.
But I never thought I could, because in high school, I was such a underachiever.
Right.
That I never had confidence that I
Why was
smart enough. There's so many layers to that. Again, that's something.
The top onion layer. Why?
Being not having self-confidence.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I didn't have self-confidence in myself, so I always believed I was stupid. I always believed that I wasn't smart enough. I never thought that I had the ability to, like, learn. I was always a bit envious of people who were book smart.
But where did that come from, the lack of confidence? Because you're very confident now.
But that came in time, and that's why I would never have been able to make it through college in my 20s,
Right.
maybe even early 30s. It came with building something, seeing that I was capable of doing anything I set my mind to. And then that's where I was like, I can do this.
Right.
And I'm not just going to do this, but I'm going to be a straight A student too. I've never been that.
Right.
Never been a straight A student. I've been D's and C's my entire high school, you know, the 4 years of high school.
And now?
Straight A's.
Distinction.
Just, it's crazy.
So have you actually finished the course?
No, so next month marks my just going into 2.5 years of the 4 years. Then after that, I go to law school, which is 3 years. So technically I have 4.5 years left.
Right. Are you doing too much?
No, I always have people think that I am, but I think I'm just natural for me.
Right.
I am really genuinely built like a machine. Like I can
I'm
honestly
getting
say
that vibe. Trust me.
And there's
machine.
like I'm literally that person. Like when I took the break from boxing, one of the things that I liked to do was make candles. So I started making candles.
Yeah, I really appreciate the candle you bought for us. Do you want to show us?
I actually have one in my bag if you want one after this.
We got a custom made candle, folks.
But I make candles,
Right.
And I did it because it just really helped my mind to like calm down.
Right.
It was a nice decompressor.
But how much of that time is taken away from the box? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I said I stepped away from boxing.
Yes.
So in the duration of last year, I started making candles just for fun, not even to sell, but just for fun. And then I started getting DMs going, "Hey, can I buy your candles?" And I'm like,
is that
really?
code word or something?
I'm like, really? You know, and it started selling, and it's interesting. Like my #1 sales are all through Instagram.
Really?
I constantly get messaged and orders, and
How much are you making of candles?
I make a pretty decent. I've been making pretty decent. I mean, let's put it this way.
Does it pay for the college?
No, but I started selling them at farmers markets and online. And my point being is like I'm this type of person. If I say, "Hey, I want to do this," I do it. So my friend actually said to me, cracked me up, he goes, "Man, you're that type of person that if you have a flat tire, you'll buy a tire shop. Like you're just that type of person." And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. So do I do too much? Maybe. But when I apply myself to something, I do it.
Do you know, I lived in America, but it's like you give me a very American hustle attitude that Americans have. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's like a lot of Americans have this hustle of just doing shit and getting it done. And you just remind me of an American go-getter. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I know that I am. That's the thing. But it came with time, like I said, because before in high school, I never had that. And I think a big part of that was today we're learning that there are different ways of learning.
Right. So
whether you want to say it's autistic or learning disabilities or whatever it was, but I was the type of person that if you told me to read something, I often struggled with retaining the information. But if we were to do a PowerPoint presentation and talk about it and like go over all the stuff, I would know exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
So I needed that extra attention from a teacher that they just did not have. They didn't have the time. They didn't understand, like, I don't get it. When it came to doing the assignments and X, Y, and Z, you aced it. But when it came to taking tests, you failed.
So do you put that label on yourself, like an autism label? Is that something?
No, I don't think it's that. But I have ADHD for sure.
Right.
But I don't think that it's like some form of autism. I just think that everybody has a different pace of learning. And I think when you apply one set of this is what we're supposed to be learning and this is the pace that we're supposed to be learning.
Right.
And then when people can't keep up, I mean, what are you supposed to do? They fall behind because the teachers, there's only one teacher per 30, 35 students. Yeah. Come on, they can only do so much. So when I'm requiring extra time, I don't get it. I tend to, I guess, become introverted. I don't want to ask questions because I feel stupid. I've had teachers say, "Are you even paying attention? Like, do you pay attention?" And it makes you feel embarrassed in front of class. Yeah. So I stopped asking questions and I just was trying to get by. I just wanted to get out of high school so bad.
So did you take the year off for your studies, or was it something else?
No, I was still doing school, but it was just a year off from boxing.
Okay, can we know why, or is it?
Yeah, I was burnt out.
Okay.
I didn't love it anymore. In fact, I hated it.
You hated the boxing? Mm-hmm. Okay, why?
Not that anyone did anything in particular. It was just, I was burnt out. It was the process is so difficult. You know, it looks fun, but the amount of work that goes into it, the hours of travel, it's a lot.
Yeah, the body clock, hair going.
But then when I started doing this, I was 26, 27.
Right.
I'm 41 now. You're not talking about the same energy levels.
Right.
Things are changing.
For real.
And you start prioritizing differently. You're like, yo, I'm missing my family.
Right.
I'm never home.
Yeah.
You know, how's my parents? I want to be home more. And so I had a bit of a breakdown, which is hard for me to admit because I'm not somebody who, I'm pretty sure, as you probably know, or can tell, I just don't really
Your glass
like
half
to,
full.
no, always.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I'm also not someone to cave to defeat.
Yeah, you're strong.
So I felt like I'm always the smiling one, the laughing one.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, every time I would go through it, like I'm done for the day and I'm back in my room, I'm crying.
Okay.
Like absolute breakdown.
Right.
Did not want to be there. I was tired. I look back on a few of the interviews before I stepped away. My face looked tired.
Right.
I looked bloated.
Right.
I looked like you're not taking care of yourself.
Right.
You're just not. And everything was just, I don't know, things around me started to kind of fall apart in certain areas and I couldn't understand what was going on and I just wasn't happy. It was a rat race. I was chasing money. And I was making a good amount. And at this point, I really did not care anymore. If I had to go back to like bare bones, I did not care about the money anymore. I just wanted peace.
Right.
I just wanted to not feel this way. Whatever it was that was going on inside of me, I didn't want to feel this anymore. And I'm very, my relationship with God's really strong. So I don't say this lightly, and I don't say it as in I would have ever have done it. But I found myself for the very first time thinking about killing myself. And I don't mean that I ever would have done it because I didn't do it. But I couldn't believe that that's where my mind was.
Right.
Like, where are you? Like, how deep are you right now that every day you wake up and you think, see, this is why this isn't happening. See, this is why you're not good enough. That's why that doesn't happen for you. All these thoughts were so negative that it broke me. And I would cry out to God and just be like, what is happening? I know this isn't coming from you. You would never talk to me this way. So where is this coming from? And I just felt so low that I don't think people were really understanding because everyone calls me when there's something they want advice from or they want to feel motivated. And I was still that person to them. But it took me, I hope I don't cry. It took me having to message my best friend. This wasn't that long ago. So I'm still on my journey of healing. But it wasn't that long ago, I texted my best friend and I said, I just don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
And she was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you don't talk like this. And I'm like, if there was a way to press reset, I think, and not feel like I would be hurting people, I probably would have done it.
Wow.
And it's like, how do you go from everything that was going well to that? Like, what happened there? And it made me really empathize with people who struggle with mental health because I've always been so mentally strong.
Yeah.
That for me to get to that point, that was a big deal. So I could see where some people really struggle because they're not mentally strong. So if who is considered to be one of the strongest friends or persons around people I know, they come to me for everything. Oh my God, like what's going on? And it made me think of how much other people suffer and where their minds go and why some people just think in that very moment that this is it, there's no way out, and I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So I can see that, and it makes me sad. But I'm still on the recovery of that, as in like I still have moments where it wants to go there, but my faith is so strong that I know, and it often mentions in the Bible that sometimes your biggest tests come from testing your faith. Like, are you going to pull through?
Yeah.
Or are you going to crumble? Do you trust me? Or do you think that I'm not there? So whereas before in the past, I used to think when things didn't go right, I would, like most people, blame God. Well, what did I do?
Yeah.
As opposed to looking at it as in, this might be a refining moment.
Right.
And I have to go through this because it's going to make me. So just when I thought I couldn't be stronger, I somehow come out stronger. And then you look back and you go, oh my God, like what? So being here, I don't really think anyone really realizes how close I was to really feeling like I don't want to be here anymore. Like I really don't want to be here anymore. And that's deep. That's
very deep.
Yeah.
Are you able to identify the trigger though? Because you said you don't know what it is that's actually making you feel that way. Do you know what I mean? Is it over time? Are you able now, looking back?
No, I don't know what the trigger is.
Right.
Because when I look at the bigger picture, I think I'm blessed. I have my family. I have a really great family.
Yeah.
Like, my success isn't even for me. I think of my success and future success is for them.
Right.
Because I want to be able to be the one that changes their lives, the one that gives them the very things that they should have, absolutely, like my parents. So I can't say specifically what it is. I just know that it's sometimes this inner voice that wants to come in and tell you that you're worthless and, you know, all the things. And you know what? I'm going to use this as an example because I try to say this that I know that it's what I don't know if you have a religion but like in Christianity we call it the enemy. Right? Satan, demons, whatever it is around you that wants to like take you down. That oftentimes the enemy is attacking you because they know something great's coming for you and they want to veer you off course because, you know, the devil never wants to see you really succeed without him. Yeah. Like if you have him on his you're on his side, he'll let you let you win.
That's those Diddy parties, right?
But if you are not with him, you're not winning. I don't want your life to win. So there's always like something behind the scenes intercepting, trying to like veer you off course, right? So I recognize that, like, if you watch, do you watch a lot of films?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever seen The Pope's Exorcist?
No, I don't watch them horror films.
Well, see, it's funny because I don't see those as horror films because they're true. They're real. Like, it happens.
What, like the original
exorcisms?
Yeah.
So for me, it's not a horror film. For me, it's just, this is what happens, and people kind of should know what this is going on around us.
But you know when a kid goes backwards and that does all the walking?
No. But there's a scene in that film that really clocks with me, and I always remind myself of that anytime and you watch any of those type of films, the person who's demon possessed is often met with or is often saying to the priest, because remember they're possessed, the demon in them is telling the priest everything negative about the priest. Yeah. Oh, you're this and you're that, you're nobody, that's why your father left you when you were a kid, and you know, this is why this happened to you. And so it wants to constantly remind you of the things that you fell short on, wants to remind you of the areas you struggled in, wants to remind you that you're not good enough, wants to remind you of why you're not deserving, God doesn't love you. And then that I correlate that to what I experience in my mind. Right. So although it's not a form of possession necessarily, it's in my ear telling me those things. So I recognize where it's coming from. So I always have to push back on that, because then I say, no, that's not, like, even if I have made mistakes, like we all have, that doesn't define me. It made me who I am. I learned from my mistakes and I'm a better person for it. But that there's that constant voice trying to tell you those things. But that's, if you see that through an exorcism, you understand where that's coming from. Does that make sense?
No, I hear you.
So I always try to, like,
But side note, I see the Conjuring and the Annabelle doll. I was like, hell no, I'm out.
Those things I get.
I'm like, oh, hell no.
No, those things to me, I don't like that stuff either. But I mean,
yeah.
but this is a bit different, as in like, you know, and that's based on a true story too. So the Pope's exorcist. So.
So what made you come back then? Did you feel like you were just ready to come back? What did you do in that kind of year off? Was it just a lot of self-healing, reflection?
Mm-hmm. A lot of self-healing.
How does that journey take place? What do you do to self-heal? Is it literally just time out?
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
I got a lot of sleep in. I worked out. I lost 25 pounds. So I was able
What's
to
that
like...
in kilos? We're in England now.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Work it out. We don't do this poundage bullshit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even
like
know.
Like Fahrenheit and that. No.
But...
And kilomiles per hour. No. Right.
But
you just got
I got healthy. I spent time with family. I've recently moved back to
11 kilos. That's what almost 2 stone. We love to see it.
Okay.
Right, go on.
Yeah. So just started to feel better about myself by just stepping away.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel the need to want to put myself out there. I didn't feel the need to post. I didn't care if anyone knew what I wasn't doing. I didn't need any of that. And I just really wanted to disappear. Like, and I know it's weird because like I've had a few friends even go, hey mate, you good? Because you went from like posting all the time, like even when you were traveling places, like you shared.
Yeah.
But I felt like I got to a point in my life where I just didn't want to share anymore.
Right.
I just wanted it to be me.
Right.
I didn't care whether someone liked my photo or thought I looked good today. It's just none of that mattered.
Of course.
And
so then why the return, I guess? If you're happy and you found your happy place.
Well, I mean, I got to be realistic. I'm not going to, you know, was fortunate to be able to have grants and scholarships from having good grades.
Okay.
And then savings. And I just sort of wrote it out and thought, I'm going to know when I'm ready. If I ever feel ready. My dad would often ask me, like, do you miss it? And I go, no. And then it got to a point where one day I just thought, I got a call to do something and I go, yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
And that's kind of how this happened.
But it's nice that the calls are still coming in.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Because
if they wrote you off and said, oh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I think a lot of people, I didn't hear from them. They didn't hear from me. It is what it is. I don't take it personally, but there were people who did check in on me often and just go, hey, you okay?
Was you expecting some people to check in more?
I stopped expecting anything of anyone
really?
A long time ago. Because I get disappointed all the time. Because what I do for people is not often returned. And I realized quite a few years back, you're only setting yourself up.
Right.
To feel disappointed.
Heartbreak, failure, okay.
Yeah. And it's nothing wrong. Some people just don't have it in them to check in on you.
Yeah.
They don't have it. They're just, and it is what it is. I don't think they're bad people for it, but there are some people who are a bit more nurturing and empathetic.
But when you're in that boxing world, is it strictly like these are just associates, or do you consider them friends? Do you get, where's
I have
that
a few
line?
friends, but most are associates.
Most are just, there's just that line of you're not really expecting.
No one ever knows anything about me.
Right.
I keep it very much what it is. We talk about what's going on that week and that's it. I don't talk about my personal life. I don't get into much. Most people don't know anything about me.
Right.
And I keep it that way.
Right.
I keep it that way.
Right.
Not because I have anything to hide or because I shouldn't be able to talk about certain things. I just don't.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then so you feel like you're ready to come back, and you come back, and now you're good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I think in moderation.
How long has it been? Sorry, since your return.
So the last interview I did was January of this year.
Right.
So it's almost a year.
Right. And how are you feeling now?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel fine. The only thing I feel slightly badly about traveling for 2 weeks straight is that I have a new puppy at home.
Okay.
And my mom and dad are watching the puppy.
Why would you do that? Yeah.
Well, I've had the puppy for 6 months now. And
what is it?
A Rottweiler German Shepherd mix.
So you didn't go small then?
To be honest with you,
go small.
To be honest with you, he adopted me.
Of course he
came
did.
into my life.
Yeah. He rang the doorbell and said, listen.
No, really, he really came to my house. As in, like, my nephew brought him. He was a stray. He was like the litter was off to the side of the road.
Right.
So he brought him home, and that's how it happened.
Right.
So I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, was not looking to go raise a puppy.
Yeah.
Because there was just no way with my lifestyle. I'm
Right.
like, I don't have time.
Exactly.
Now I'm just absolutely in love with him. Like are you an animal person?
Not really. Like no.
Okay.
But I get the thing with people and animals. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't.
Okay. No, I
A
understand.
lot of people
it.
are like, it's a dog, like big deal. I'm like,
No.
I see what you're saying, but until you experience it, you realize it's really family. Like you really love these little beings like family.
Yeah.
And they're so dependent on you. So it really teaches you discipline about certain things. Like
Right.
you really have to like not make this about you.
Yeah.
You know, like they're hungry. They want to go out. You have to walk them and do all these things that takes you out of what you're used to when you don't have an animal.
Yeah.
So, but
you do realize
he came at a really good time because, like I said, I was battling a lot. And there were times where I would be crying and I would just be sitting outside crying. And he would just be, it was like I was looking off into God knows where. And I would look at him and he's just looking off into God knows where. But he sat right there with me. And I just thought, this is going to be my best friend for the next like 10, 15 years.
I hear you. He's your best friend until you go home and the pillow's all fucked because he just chewed up the whole.
Oh, well, I got photographs from yesterday. My mom.
Right.
He tore up he absolutely tore up.
He's done pissed in the kitchen already.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
He tore up the kitchen. He somehow ended up on top of the kitchen table.
Right.
He broke my dad's $300 reading glasses. And this is, and mind you, I've only been gone since Tuesday.
Right. That's what I mean.
Tuesday.
Right.
Mate, we're on Sunday.
And
I still have like another 9 days to go before I'm home.
What? And your parents are just calling you like, what the fuck did?
To be fair though, is my brother and sister have kids.
Right.
I don't. So I've never asked them to babysit my kids.
Right.
I've never asked them to do anything with like, you know, Mom, can I drop my kid off? Or hey, can you do this? I've never asked for anything.
Right.
So I have a puppy now.
You have a child.
I'm asking for just a little bit of grace.
Right.
Just help me out right now.
Yeah.
So that's definitely like the
Do you
card
want
I pull.
kids? Is that
No, I don't.
No.
I think at one point I thought I did, or no, I take that back. I've never wanted kids my whole life.
Okay,
but everybody
why?
goes, oh, you'll eventually change your mind as you get older.
Right.
Fair enough. It never came.
Right.
I think there was at one point in time in my mid-30s, I did really consider it. But I've always said, I don't want kids just to say I want kids. I want kids if I meet someone really great.
Right.
Like I want
Yeah.
to replicate a piece of you
Totally.
because you're so amazing.
Yeah.
So will that change because if I do meet someone like that, will that change? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not the case, but I absolutely will tell you right now that there is no plan in my future to have children.
Okay.
Now, if I become a step parent, that's different.
Right.
I don't have anything against kids. I love kids.
Right.
I'm a great aunt.
Right.
But I don't see it for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about this kind of mental health stuff, how is it now kind of just talking about it, and does it feel good to just let it out and kind of tell the world? Do you know what I'm saying? Because this could be a teachable moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm still learning to do that because even like when I was seeing people this week, you know, hey, how have you been? You've been good? I'm like, yeah, I've been good. But the truth is I haven't been good.
Right.
But it's not the time and the place like for me to unload
in that environment.
In an emotional, you know, let me tell you, I wanted to die. Like,
yeah, but when this goes out, people might start realizing. Well, they will realize.
I think I'm one of those people that they often say they looked fine. Absolutely,
yeah.
Wow, like I never saw that coming.
If I just go back to your videos, you are the warmth, the happiness, the kind of the joy. You bring the joy, right? Yeah. And again, it's nothing that I would ever act on. I was just so down and out that I couldn't believe that I was actually thinking those things. Right.
So that's what shocked me the most. I would never do it for many reasons. And I know that's, and I don't want to offend people if they have had people, friends or family that have done it. But I just know I couldn't hurt themselves or committed suicide. Because the best thing, or the best way of looking at it, is when I closed my eyes, I couldn't imagine what my parents would be going through.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that to them. So no matter how much I'm feeling in this very moment, I think about them.
Yeah.
And how much that would destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I keep fighting.
Yeah.
For that reason, I take one day at a time. Because it really is one day at a time. It's so crazy how quickly it changes from day to day.
But the way you are about it as a female, and the way you are about it and the way you're fighting it is very inspiring. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going through this, but I could just imagine if someone has an inkling of this, you could be a very good advocate for this. I don't know if you're ready for that, or is that something you even thought about?
No, I don't even think about that, because again, I'm still on day by day.
Right.
I'm still getting through it. I'm better now, as in I recognize what's going on. I recognize it according to my faith. I'm being tested. I got certain things that are happening that I believe that are refining me and making me a better person for the long run, for whatever that looks like. But I don't think I'm definitely no expert to give advice on anything other than prayer works for me.
Right.
And it works for me, because there are times when I do feel so just not in a good place, that I ask God, ask Jesus, give me peace. Let me feel peace. And then out of nowhere, genuinely, I feel like I'm okay to get through the day. I don't feel as heavy. And so that works for me. Because
it's like mental health in boxing. There's a thing. Frank Bruno, Tyson Fury, Ricky Hatton, RIP recently. Do you know what I mean? And it's quite prevalent in boxing. So I just, you could use this for good. I don't know. I just feel the way you speak and the way you are, I can see like.
Do you know why I have a hard time with talking about certain things? Is because often when you talk about things, people want to say, oh, they're looking for attention. But when someone does something to themselves, they go, well, why didn't they talk about it? Why didn't they?
But that's what I mean. Talking about it is good.
Right. No, it is good. It's just, I think that throughout this year of me kind of pulling back and not really needing anyone's validation, I've not needed to say much about anything. Right. Maybe one day that'll change. Yeah. Maybe. I often have people who tell me, you should have a podcast about it. And I'm like, I'm not there yet.
Right.
Because a part of me likes being a bit private.
You are there because you're going to have a podcast.
But not about that. It's not about me in the podcast, though. Yeah. It's definitely about other people's experiences. But nonetheless, I feel like I don't know if I'm fully there yet.
Yeah.
But maybe that will come in time.
But is this game a lonely game for you? Because you're out different countries here and there. I don't suppose you can get friends to come with you all the time, because obviously everyone's got their own lives and jobs. And then your body clock, lack of sleep, and these are all contributing factors, I presume, to affect your kind of mental health. So how is that for you? Like back out here on your own, a one-woman army?
I'm very lonely in this industry.
Right.
It's a men's club and I'm not invited.
Right.
So as much as I want to feel like I'm included, I'm not often included. I do have some people, obviously, that I can turn to, or I feel like we have an actual friendship. But for the most part, I kind of go into these knowing that I'm just going to be winging it through the week.
Right.
By myself and not really.
So then I guess my next question is, why are you doing it like that then? Why is it just the case of the career then?
Doing what?
Like doing this lonely journey, do you know what I mean? And just kind of...
Well, because I can't control that. That doesn't take away from the fact that if I enjoy something or feel like I'm good at something, I should let that affect me, because I'm not entirely accepted in every area. But
then could you not go down a different presenting route and kind of not...
I've done other stuff.
Go with boxing, do you know what I mean? Is boxing your main passion?
I mean, I've done other sports, definitely. But this is really what I would call my bread and butter.
Right.
So it's... Don't get me wrong, there's been opportunities for other stuff, but I find that if you're not passionate about it, it's not fun.
Right.
It's a paycheck, but you're just not passionate about it. you're not in this industry for 14 years and not passionate about it.
Right.
I would have been one of those women that have been hired who have come and gone out of boxing because there's not a passion for it. They're just there because an opportunity arose for them to be there. But I'm in this because I've actually really love what I do.
Is there anything else that you're passionate about in regards to presenting? That in like an ideal world, what would be your ideal job?
I think people have always thought that I would do really well in entertainment.
Right.
Because I have done some entertainment interviews where I would have people mess with me, go, dude, that's your calling. But
Right.
I wouldn't say it's my calling. I just think that I like to enjoy an interview. I like to talk. I like to, so
Yeah.
I don't think that boxing for me is familiar.
Right.
So it's easier.
But you seem like a confident person enough to step out your familiar
Yeah,
perimeter
I have
and-
done that.
Right.
There's actually a sport in America. It's called the American Cornhole League.
Right. What's that?
Yeah. So I know most people, but I got an opportunity with ESPN to do it.
Right.
And I did it for a while. And
What's the sport? I don't
So
get
there's
it.
like 2 boards, and people throw those heavy bags into like the hole of the boards.
And the whole, okay.
Yeah.
Is that
it's
a sport?
actually no, it's funny because
Americans will just make anything a sport.
no, but you know what? To me, that's no different than that dart thing everyone does.
Oh, okay. I hear that.
It's like a
But
bar
you can't say
thing,
that in
right?
the
It's like
UK,
a
that's
bar.
right,
It's
yeah.
like a bar sport,
Yeah,
right?
but you got to watch your language. You can't. No.
But it's like,
You're
to me, I
still in
see
the
darts.
UK, innit?
I see.
You know when
I
you
see,
get the airport, then you can say that.
I see darts as like something
hear
we
you.
do in America at a bar, like a.
That's where it's come from.
Well, this
Pub,
is kind of like similar to that.
Okay.
Like people,
More than
they'll
they-
be outdoors, like at
Yeah, I hear you.
parties and stuff. But it's actually harder than it looks.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're
pissed,
playing,
innit?
especially when
And
you're
can't see
playing like
properly.
the actual pro rules.
What a pro
when
rules.
you're-
Get it in the hole.
No, because there's like if I recall correctly, I think it was like a 27-foot,
Length.
yeah, like distance between one board to the other.
Right.
And because the bag weighs 1 pound.
Kilos. We don't.
Okay.
Again.
But again, it's
Work out.
it's
Yeah.
heavy after a while.
Right.
So your arm really does start to feel it.
Right.
But it looks easy, but it's not easy.
Right.
And so you realize you're like, man, I'm actually quite crap at this. But then you see
Right.
some people and they're just like doing certain spins in and stuff. So it's like,
I hear
it's
you.
a talent. It's
Right.
interesting. But anyways, I did go that route, did a few
Is that an
things
upcoming
there.
sport then, I presume?
Yes.
So then wouldn't that make sense? Something's up and coming. I can get in early. I can grow
Mm-hmm.
with this as this is growing. And I could stay more local.
Yeah, I mean, it's not local.
it's
There was
not.
more traveling there than it was
Oh, really?
what I do here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So you just stuck then?
Yeah.
There's like nothing in Hollywood going.
Yeah.
So how much, so you're paying a big price then, I guess, with all this stuff that you're doing that looks so great. Do you know what I mean?
I think anything does, though. I'm paying a...
Yeah, but this
A
is a
big
price
price.
on you, your loneliness, your mental health, your all of those things, which are very big prices to pay.
Yeah, but loneliness is in, like, I'm already a bit of an introvert.
Right,
I don't mind being alone.
right.
Like, I do not fear
You say that,
like,
but you're in a foreign country, you don't know what to do, you just...
But I just figure it out.
Right.
So I think it sounds nice, like that, you have some people to talk to or hang out with, but I am a bit of a lone ranger, so I don't find it as difficult as I'm sure some people would if they're really dependent
Is
on.
that just due to habit, though, that you're a lone ranger?
I've always been a lone ranger.
Right.
Even like in high school, I never had a group. You know, people had groups.
Yeah.
I just knew everybody.
Right. Because from here you go to Dubai, where we going?
Riyadh.
Right. For what? What's going on there?
Anthony Yard
Right.
is fighting David Benavidez.
Right.
Yeah.
So from there to there, and you're literally going to go do the interviews and go back to your hotel. Mm-hmm. Why don't
Well,
you...
I have school to do, so I really don't have time.
Right. Have you picked the school that it kind of fills in the void of these gaps?
Yeah, or I would just be in my room watching TV.
FaceTiming the dog.
Now I FaceTime him every night.
Right.
So yeah, but no, I. It's funny because when people ask me, "What do you do for fun?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's my next
mate,
question.
I'm not. On paper, I'm not very exciting. I'm the type of person that I like to host. So if you come over, I'm gonna cook dinner. We're going to talk. It's very much that way.
Right.
Good conversation.
Right.
And that's it. I'm not going out anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing... My day-to-day would consist of that. Like, if I had people come over, I cook all the time.
Yeah.
And then I would... I did a lot of like those Pilates type classes, so that was become a daily fixture for me. And that's really it. Like, we don't do much. I don't go outside, as you'd say. I'm not outside.
Have you always been like that, or is that an age thing? Because when you get to a certain age, you can't be bothered. Netflix,
I've always been that way. In fact, a friend of mine who's like, he's got like a concierge company in Vegas, so he takes care of like everybody.
Right.
He's always like, oh, Miss, you just never go out. Like, he knows not to invite me anywhere because I'm not going.
Right. Do you think you should go?
No.
Do you think you're kind of blocking your potential? You know what I mean?
No, I think my 20s, I would have thought that.
Right.
But no, absolutely not. I'm not missing anything.
Don't want to go out.
Do you know what? When I do that one time a year that I thought, let me try this, I just want to get home.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I get it. People are like, well, how are you going to meet somebody? How are you gonna...
Yeah.
I trust...
Are you single right now?
Yes. Okay. I trust that God's going to work it out at some point. I know divine intervention will happen at some point, whether that be, however it is. It's not like I don't do anything. I work. So if I'm going to meet somebody, it's going to be in some form of me being out doing something.
Not to get too personal, when was your last relationship? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
The last person that I was seeing that had so much potential was probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. And I presume that was hard to balance. What?
No. I didn't see it as hard to balance.
Okay, so
no. No. But when it didn't work out, it took a toll on me. And I just decided that I just didn't want to do it. Like, I just didn't want to date anyone. And then I haven't really dated anyone.
Okay. Would you date in your kind of industry, like the boxing thing and stuff like that? Or is there too much testosterone going on in there?
Do you know what? I definitely, and I get that, like, statistically, that you meet people that you're working with. Like, people tend to meet people at work. But I really don't want to date in my industry.
Right.
I really don't want to.
Why?
I just don't.
I
don't want an athlete. Is that
because it will be frowned upon?
I don't want an athlete. I don't want to be with an athlete. I just don't. And it's nothing against them. I just don't want to. It's a lifestyle that I just don't want to be a part of. What lifestyle? Explain. Elaborate. It's a lot. I already have a lot going on myself. Right. So it's like, there's so much going on all the time that I can imagine how difficult that would be. Do you think people would frown upon it if you was in with someone from boxing? I don't think anyone would care now. I've been doing this for so long. If I wanted to do it, I would have done it my first year. Okay. When I was in my 20s. You think you know what I mean? Like. I hear you. And kind of how hard is it looking a certain way being in that testosterone full world? The hardest part is just the assumptions that people have. Which are? That, it must be this or it must be like that because she gets all this access and all these things. And I just thought, oh my God, like, I'm in line like everybody else. I'm hitting up the publicist like everybody else. Right. I feel like it's less and less of that now because I think the people who kind of like slagged me off in my 20s and 30s, I think they've kind of figured out. True British lingo. We love to see it. I think they kind of just realize like, oh, MJP's here. Like, this is what she's doing. Right. Like, this is what she does. That's just the longevity, right? Right. So I noticed less of it, a lot less of it. Of course, you're going to get some people who want to say something stupid. That's fine. I don't care. In fact, it was on one of my pictures that somebody said something, or one of my posts, and I just said, I'm happy to be back. Right. It was a negative comment, but I'm like, I'm happy to be back. And like, thank you. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you have to look at the perks of things. Like, if no one's talking about you ever, you're really not you're not positioning yourself well in that industry. Right. You it kind of comes with the territory. And I realize that with a lot of women in not just sports, but in business as well, in corporate industries, my friends are all going through it. They all have something they're going through. There's like a lot of bias and, it's a man's world and we're just trying to, find our way in it. I pay no mind to it anymore. I really don't care.
And how is that kind of the haters? Then you just don't pay no mind to it, like the comments or whatever it is.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
And that was my advice to a lot of the girls that come up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, thank you for paving the way. I would watch you," and you know they're in like their early 20s. I'm like, "Dude, you must have been watching me like when you were 10. It's crazy." And I just tell them the same thing. Just don't pay any mind to it. And when it starts to feel like it's getting louder, it's because you're doing something good.
And then some would say you got pretty privilege. What would you say to that? Like you can get those interviews because you perhaps look a certain way or something like that. Does that bother you?
Well, that's interesting because I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like not everyone is going to see me as attractive. Some people, I'm not their type. Some people might go, "Oh, she looks great." Others are like, "Really? I don't see what you see." So.
Right. But you're one of the very few female in boxing, do you know what I mean? So I guess it's so male dominated perhaps.
Not anymore. There's a lot of women now. But when I first started, of course.
But you're the OG in it, do you know what I mean? So when people say that, does it bother you? Just
when they say that I'm...
Oh, you got pretty privilege and that's why you...
I mean, thank you. I'm 41 and if you still think I'm pretty, then if you still feel like I got it, then I'm happy. My niece said to me, she's like, "Oh, all my..." She's a senior in high school. She's like, "All of my friends think you're hot." And I literally go, yes.
Yes.
Like, if I'm at this age and still getting older and you guys are still putting me in that category, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Come on, you got to take that.
So, but I see it as privilege? No, because in my industry, it's the exact same access other people get. The only difference is as time goes on, you build relationships with some people where they feel more comfortable because they know they can trust you.
Yes.
So, and that's any industry. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for making friends in my industry. And if they prefer to do an interview with me than someone who might be a bit more controversial, I don't care.
Do you need to research stuff anymore? You just like a veteran in the game, you know what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes I have to, especially with the up and comers.
Right.
Because there's so many moving parts constantly that you have to do your research. I think you'd be silly not to, because even broadcasters are handed notes before they go live. They're handed like 2-3 pages of
Have you seen my notes?
Content.
I'm looking for my
You're a
notes.
natural.
You know what I mean?
But like, it's no shame in that. It doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. It's just, hey, sometimes you need a little refresher. And especially if you've been doing it long enough, you go, oh, you're right. I forgot about that. It was, he beat so-and-so and yes. Little refreshers. It's nothing wrong with that.
Just taking it back, when was the first type of moment you realised this boxing thing could actually be going like the careers? Do you know what I mean? Like I've got something here, like, or kind of viral moment perhaps.
I wouldn't know if I knew then it was going to be like a big deal, but I definitely realized when I would show up to these events,
No, you're right.
and I wouldn't really see very many women. I think there's very few that I would see on the scene, and depending on which promotion it was with too, because sometimes certain promoters would have a female working for them.
Right.
So there would be a couple of instances where I would see some familiar faces depending on what event I was covering.
Yeah.
But for the most part, in terms of what I did specifically, which was not work for one promoter, but work for across the board, going to all the shows, I noticed that I would normally be probably 9 out of 10 times the only woman in all of press row.
Right.
So I think that's when I realized, well, there really is a niche here.
Or niche, as you like to say it. Why the hell you say that shit? You know what I mean? Yeah, so then what was your turning moment for you? Is there one where you're like, right, this is becoming...
I think it might have been when people started asking for my photo, and at really random places too. Like, I was in Beverly Hills once. It's different in the UK.
Right.
Often in the UK I'm recognized, but in the US it's not as common. Unless you're at like a boxing event. But I mean, like, I'm talking about just like chilling on a day to day.
Right.
And one day I went into, I was waiting for a friend who was getting out. I can't even remember where she was, but she was in the area, and I was like, oh, okay, I have to go pee. I'm going to go run into CVS, which is like a pharmacy.
Right.
So I go in there, and I asked to use the restroom, and I'm in there, and when I come out, there's a lady that's standing there, and she has a piece of paper, like a clipboard and a piece of paper. Sorry, I feel like my thing is...
Are you good?
Throwing off lint. And I swear on my life, this is what I said. I go, oh, am I supposed to sign in to use the restroom?
Right.
And she goes, oh, no, you do the boxing, right? And I went, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Why?
And you are?
And she's like, can I get your autograph? I would literally go, no way.
Right.
I was like, no way.
Right.
In Beverly Hills.
Right.
It was that was to me where it was
at the
kind of like
moment?
it was different. Or when I lived in Manchester and I was just going to like the little local Sainsbury to go grab a few bits, and then I was crossing the road and some guy yelled, "Hey, fight fans!" And I was like, "Oh my god." Okay. So little moments like that where you start to go, like even just this past week, somebody asked me to sign something, and I'm like, "You want me to sign it?"
Yeah.
Like it's just so weird. Like,
But it's nice. It's nice to see that.
Yeah, no. I'm not weirded out as in like it's a bad thing, but I'm just like it's me. Like why me? Like boxing. You want boxing like boxers to sign.
Do you realise you are a kind of face for boxing?
I don't.
In a roundabout way.
I struggle to ever see myself that way.
Okay.
I really do.
But can you acknowledge that is what it is?
I don't. Okay, I just had this conversation with somebody a few days ago. I said, I'm learning to pat myself on the back more.
Yeah.
Because I don't see myself as successful.
Right.
And other people will come up to me and say, you're the reason I wanted to start doing this or whatever. It still doesn't register with me. It still hasn't had like a...
I think you should reflect on that because it's a lovely thing and you've done it for so long. It's not like you're OG in this. You started this shit.
But if it just, I don't know. I just never see myself a certain way.
Right.
And I fear if I did, that I might become a monster.
No, you don't have to
You
become a
think
monster.
so?
You can humbly just be like, listen, okay, look, I have achieved that. And just, I always think it's good to look back and reflect, but you don't have to be an egotistical monster. So, yeah, I'm the shit now. You get me? My rider's changed. You get what I'm saying? But I think it could be helpful for your own growth to understand, look, okay.
Am I learning to pat myself on the back more?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the fight fans thing, that seems to become your tag.
Yeah.
Did you even realise it would become so big?
No, I owe it to Coogan though, because Cougs is the one who made it a thing for me, because I didn't realize that when I said it so fast. Right. And the reason why I said it so fast is because we often don't have a whole lot of time with the fighters, so I'm just like speeding up. Like I'm like what do you call it? Like fast forwarding too? That's my speed. Yeah. Like, hey, 5 fans, this is Michelle Joy Phelps, like really fast. And I look back at my old videos and I go, oh my God. Yeah. Slow down, lady. Right. But doing that, he made it a thing one time where he goes, hey, 5 fans. And I started laughing. And it just became a thing where he was like, you're Hey Fight Fans. Yeah. And then everybody started saying it. Like every time I interview fighters, they're like, Hey Fight Fans or Fight Fans. And so it just kind of became this tagline I didn't really anticipate having.
But you own it, right?
Yeah. No, it's definitely my thing. I feel weird if somebody like comes on the scene and was like, "Hey, Fight Fan," I'm like, hold on.
You better back the fuck up, man. You better
hold on, okay?
Yeah.
I might have been gone for a year, but I'm not. It's still me.
And then, kind of, how is it when you're like IFL, your Radio Rahims? It seems like you're one community. Is there kind of rivalry, or like is it healthy competition? Because I suppose you want that exclusive. You want that thing, I guess. That's what keeps you going.
We've always been quite good about that, to be honest.
Right.
At least I can speak for myself. Like there would be times where we're sitting there and I'm running, they're running, where someone got it first or this person got it, the other one didn't end up getting it. It sucks in the moment, but you're not like, wow, that person.
But there must be a moment where like, I don't know, you're both all fighting to get someone, and then does that? I don't know, how does it work? Do you go, go on then, you have it, or?
Sometimes we have been very polite about that. Like, we're all going to get time. If they tell us we're all going to get time, then I think everybody's a little bit less.
And what
tense.
if they don't? And it's first come first. Do you know what I mean? Are you?
It sucks. It sucks.
But are you like fighting for it?
No.
Is it every man for it?
I'm not. I can't. Again, I can't speak for everybody else. But for myself, I've never had a moment where I'm like mad because somebody jumped in front of me and got it, or at least not that I can recall in the big haze that it's been. But I can't ever really think of a moment that's happened for myself.
And then when someone gets the viral moment, are you like, shit, that could have been me? Because like one that sticks to my to this day. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when someone gets that, do you think that could so have just been me?
No, I think
do you know what I mean?
Like only Rahim could have set set up that interview to get that response.
Of course, that's race related, but I'm just.
Yeah.
Are you like trying to get that moment, or is it just
no?
natural?
It happens. It happens, and sometimes we do better than others. Sometimes some people get an exclusive, or I'll get the exclusive.
Right.
It does suck sometimes when you think, damn, like, why couldn't I get called in for that? Or why didn't I get that opportunity? It does suck in the moment, but no one's like getting upset with the person about it. Like, you're doing your job, you know?
And what's kind of been your standout interviews, you know what I mean, for you personally?
I don't know. I think it's different for everybody. Like when people come up to me and say what they've enjoyed watching, obviously people have loved the build up with all the heavyweights. They're like, oh, my favorite interviews are when they're with the heavyweights. Right. And so, but it just depends.
Who's your favorite heavyweights?
I don't have a favorite.
Oh, whatever. You're just pleading the fifth.
I don't.
You gotta stop that shit, man. Come on. Listen.
No, that's what got me access all these years, is because I don't pick sides.
Right. But you must.
So you know what?
Go on.
No. I can get into pretty much any camp, right? And you want to know why? Because they know I'm not going to talk about someone else to them.
Okay.
Because they know that what goes on there is not leaving. So I'm not going to go and tattletale to the next camp that he was saying this, or this is what they were doing. So it works out for me because they know that.
Yes. But internally, you do obviously have favorites.
No, I have friends.
No, I'm saying that favorite boxers.
No, because I have friends.
Right.
I have boxers who become friends.
Right.
And then I have people who I interview.
Right.
So of course, if you want to call that favorites, then it is what it is. But when you have an actual friendship with someone versus an acquaintance, it's different, isn't it?
So then how is it for you to keep that interview balance then, if you blatantly have a friend?
By interviewing the opposing...
No,
it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
And if they say something, you wouldn't edit it out, you just leave it?
No.
And what...
I've only ever edited something out if they've asked me to edit it out.
Right, and does that happen?
Actually, I take that back. There's been one person who said something that I thought, this isn't going to be a good look. And I deleted it for them.
I'm going to take that. I'm just going to do you a favor.
Yeah, I'm going to do you a favor because I knew it would explode views-wise.
Right.
But in that moment, I made the decision to protect that person by I'm not including that.
Right. And when you're going in camps, you're literally seeing what's happening. Everything.
Yeah, sometimes. Not always.
And you just don't want to go to everyone and say, listen, if you just write this check here.
you stupid.
You want to write this check here, we can get it.
Oh, okay.
We can get it cracking. No?
No.
Okay. And then how is it when, like, because from the Usyk fight, you actually interviewed post-fight straight away. Is that a big thing then? 'Cause to get that one, that's the one that everyone watches, do you know what I mean? Live on the thing. How is it getting those type of interviews? Because that's amazing. That's heavily trusted, isn't it? That's
yeah.
You know,
when I booked that job, it came from Team Usyk, but I have a long trust and history with Team Usyk through the World Boxing Super Series.
Right.
So I think Usyk's very first American PR event. I think there was like a group of 8 or 9 of us, and I was there, and I've literally covered his career since he's come to America. So there's that.
Right.
So I feel like he knows, like there's been times where I've got the interview and no one else has. Absolutely nobody. And I want to say that's because of the good long relationship with the team. So when I'm interviewing these guys, I feel like I'm just talking to a mate.
Yeah.
So
but when the world's watching on TV,
that doesn't make me nervous.
Oh, really?
I was just saying this to somebody yesterday when we were talking about like the interviews and stuff. I said broadcast I find to be easier than YouTube, and I feel like if you're going to go into broadcast and you've come from YouTube, you have a whole different mindset because that's a hustle. You got to hustle for the interview. Broadcast, everything's set up for you.
But it is live though.
Yeah, but that doesn't make me nervous.
Doesn't.
No.
But then to get those type of interviews must be lovely because you are trusted. That is that kind of the pinnacle of. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. I think that for me the Usyk Dubois fight in Poland was my Oscars moment. Right. That's how it felt. Yeah. Like it's a big deal. Yeah. And do you expect more of that, or do you just see what comes your way?
there is always conversations. It's really about what I can do and what's available. If I was here in the UK, opportunities would be a completely different situation.
Right.
Because there's so much more opportunity here for those sort of jobs than it is in America.
But you lived in Manchester, right?
I did.
Why was that?
Because I was with the World Boxing Super Series, and we were constantly traveling to Eastern Europe.
Right.
And it was just a happy medium rather than flying all the way back to California and then coming back like 5 days later all the way back to like Russia or...
And how was Manchester?
I love Manchester.
Yeah.
It feels like my second home. I'm not just saying that. Like when I go back, I really love spending time in Manchester.
Right.
But it's more my pace because it's enough. There's enough, but it's not over the top.
So why would you not move here then?
Because when COVID happened,
Yep.
it sent me back home because
Right.
it was either stay here or take the last emergency flights home.
Right.
So I went home, and at that point, I'm staying with my parents this whole time, and it made me realize how much I was missing,
Right.
and I could never leave them again.
Yeah. So you would never move here?
No, never again. Not because I wouldn't want to live here. I love England, but
What do you
I
love
just
about
couldn't.
it? Because it's raining like motherfucker.
You guys have so much history here.
Wow,
like
come
it's so
on. What-
beautiful.
what
It's
do
so
we have?
scenic.
Where the fuck are you going? 'Cause
It is scenic. It's
what
like
canal are you walking down? Because I don't know, like, where?
I think it's beautiful. The countryside. I love the weather because where I'm living, it never rains. I like that you guys have change of season.
Right.
We don't. It's
Right.
like hot all the time. So I just love it. But I used to always say when I was a young girl, you know, I would be, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I'd always say I was going to move to England, and no one understood why. I used to say,
I still don't understand why.
No, I used to say, and mind you, no one from my family has been to England, so my parents would always be like, "Where does this even come from?"
Right.
And I used to say, "I'm going to live in England one day, and I'm going to be on TV." I used to always say that, and they never understood why. They're like, "You just knew what you wanted to do. You knew exactly where you wanted to be."
Why don't you bring your parents here to show them all these wonderful sceneries that I can't see? What do you mean?
I have always wanted them to visit. It just never got to work out just with their schedules.
Right.
But I, again, being here is great, but my life is back in America.
Right. And you're a freelance. You stay
Mm-hmm.
freelance. How hard is that? Surely people would have been like, "Oh, come over to here, come over to here." You've
Mm-hmm.
had enough. Do you know what I mean? Are you just happy to be freelance?
Yeah, freelance is I can do things on my own terms. I can pick and choose
Right.
what I want to cover, or I can gives me opportunity to focus on, like, if I know I'm going to be busy with something else, I don't owe it to someone to ask for time off.
Right.
So it's worked for me, and I enjoy it.
But if that offer came in, if like Riyadh season said, "Listen, we need you," would you just take a one lane and say, "Right, I now work for you"?
Well, again, I think what we're talking about are two separate things, because in terms of YouTube,
Right.
it's a whole different animal compared to broadcast. So broadcast, often you're not needed the whole week, so you can come in on the weekend, work a weekend, and be out.
Right.
Whereas with YouTube, you're putting in these crazy hours all week long.
So the YouTube is yours specifically. Yeah, that's yours. And then if
That's-
the broadcast wants to work.
But I don't have my YouTube channel anymore.
Okay.
So I'm saying, but I do freelance for YouTube channels. So what I'm saying is that it's a
a
whole
channel
different
will
animal.
pay you. So like a channel will pay you to come and host for them. And then do you use your links to help that channel out? Or does that channel arrange it for you? Do you get what I'm saying?
No. We all do our own thing. That's what I'm saying. Like it's it's
So
it's
if
a
I
hustle.
open a channel tomorrow, boxing, whatever, I can employ you to go and do interviews for me.
Yeah, if that's what I wanted to do.
Right. How much is that costing me? Ballpark.
I'm not telling you that.
Okay. Is it a lot?
I mean, it's a reasonable amount. It's not like, I mean, you got to factor in how you're away all the time.
Flights.
Yeah, of course.
Rider,
Travel.
your extensive rider that you need. Do you know what I mean? Everything's got to be covered. Payment, and then they get the actual video. So why don't you run your own channel?
Because I did run my own channel for
Years.
what, 12 years.
Yeah.
But it's too much work. running a channel.
It's just to upload. Send it to me. I'll upload it. Give me a cut.
Everyone says that. They're like, would you just upload videos? I'm like, bro, it is not that. It's not that simple.
Right. What is it?
Because it's the hustling the interviews, waiting around, doing the editing, doing the posting, doing the socials. Then you got to factor in how much money you're even making.
Right.
Like from the channel.
Right.
So you have to also be the business side of things with sponsors, hitting the marks for all the sponsors. And then on top of that, you're hoping that you could even break even that week on cost and then make some additional money. And then now you got to pay all of your team. So whatever you come out with might be negative. Right. So you're having to really put, like, there's a hustle to it and really making sure you're securing the right interviews.
But you can secure those interviews.
Yeah, but it's.
I'm just saying, like, you can make this money yourself.
But not everybody has like the full gain access. Like this week, for example, or this past week, Eubank and Benn were harder to get to. So it's not.
But you got to them.
No, I didn't get to them.
You didn't get to them.
No.
Okay.
But it's like that sometimes.
Right.
You know, and then depending on where they're at mood-wise and making weight. That's what I'm saying. The heavyweights are easier because they're not worrying about those things.
Right. But you could just hire an editor to just send them the footage. Here you go, here's the footage.
But again, when you're factoring in cost, you're already like $2,000 in because you've had to pay for the hotel and for the flight.
Yeah.
And you got to factor in how much it costs for the videographer and the host to be there. And then you have to paying an editor? That's like, think about how much money. So then you're not even guaranteed to get the interviews. So you're not even guaranteed to have the access to get those interviews to make that money back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of wins.
But if you're there already, like let's say you're working, like you're going to Riyadh now, whatever it is, to do whatever it is, you're there anyway. So can you not just get your YouTube popping, like, whilst you're there?
No, because somebody else is paying me to be there for them.
Oh, right. So the interview can't go to both.
No.
You could interview that person. Say, listen, I'm gonna come back in 5 minutes, yeah. and just put on your pink thing and go, yo, fight fans. You know what I mean? Okay, so this.
It doesn't matter for me to have my own channel.
It doesn't matter.
No, because ultimately, you could sell a brand, but you have your name, and that can go anywhere.
I hear you.
I don't need a YouTube channel to do anything anymore. If I wanted to do it all on my socials, I could if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I don't care to do the building process of a channel at this point. I don't need to. I don't want to. I did it. I think when it sold, it was 320,000, 330,000 subs. It did right. It did okay.
And you just left the channel? Or did you close it down?
No. The channel now has been sold and it's
you sold the channel?
The channel was sold and then it was...
Who you sell it to?
I don't... It was a football something.
What do you mean? You don't know who you sold your channel to?
It's a long story, mate.
Just give me the highlights.
I don't even know. It was changed into...
A channel called you and said, we want to buy this from you.
They didn't call me. It was somebody that I was in business with.
Right. And they said, we want this channel.
Right. But I didn't know... Because at this point, the channel had already been sitting for about a year.
Right. And they just wanted the subs.
They want the subs.
Right.
So that's why a lot of my digital footprint is gone.
How much?
Because all the videos are down.
How much do you sell it for?
I couldn't even talk about that.
Come on.
I couldn't talk about that.
All right, fair enough. Has there ever been a time where you thought, like, I could easily get this interview and the person they've just said no? Does it really piss you off? Like, hold on. How can you tell me no?
No, it happens quite often, actually. Sometimes people just don't want to be interviewed.
Does it offend you?
I mean, I think sometimes you feel like I'm all the way over here. Like, it's media week. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
Like, but there's nothing you could do about that. I think for me, it's more about wishing some people understood when, again, I don't run a YouTube channel anymore, but I know what it takes to run one. So I'm very mindful of when someone employs me, what they would expect having me there. And so I try to always think about how I could get them the best views to make the most money that they can.
And then how is it when you kind of see these kind of misfit style fights? Are you from the core of like real boxing? Or like, where do you see all this? What?
No, I don't mind it. Yeah.
Okay, so you
I was there Jake Paul's first white collar boxing event in Manchester.
Right.
I didn't mind it. I don't mind it. Some people feel like, oh, it's killing boxing. It's ruining boxing. If we really go back to the last year, 2 years, Jake Paul has held boxing up in the U.S.
Right.
Because we're not getting a whole lot of big events anymore in the U.S.
Yeah, US is...
But Jake Paul is producing in the U.S. and he's putting on shows, whether you like who he's fighting or not. He turns out and people show up. Sold out, arenas, stadiums. He does really well for himself. And then also what he's doing for women in boxing, like, I applaud him for that. Honest to God, I don't understand. If people are still on this, oh, Jake Paul, oh my God, it's so long for me. It makes me go, bro, let's get over it. He's here and whether you love him or hate him, you got to respect what he's done. This man has manifested everything he said he was going to do into existence. Think about that. At one point, he was like, I'm going to fight Canelo Alvarez one day. I remember him saying that. And I remember thinking, bro, Canelo's never going to fight. Like, no hate on him, but Canelo's not. Then I heard recently that now that Canelo is, rearing toward retirement, that he was asked that question and he goes, who knows? I was like, mate, this guy is genius. He's getting everybody.
Yeah.
And then now hearing AJ.
Right. That's what I'm moving to.
Who would have thought that Anthony Joshua would ever step foot in a ring with Jake Paul?
Do you think that's going to happen, or is that just
Yes, I do believe it's going to happen.
Do you get to hear these rumors before? Like, and you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
There's what? You think that's 100% chance? Where are you with this?
The reason why I never say 100% is because I have actually seen what is supposed to be 100% go to non-existent.
Right.
I have seen that so many times where I'm like, I don't get it. The contracts were signed. What happened?
Right.
And it's happened.
Okay.
So, but I'm confident, very confident it's going to happen.
And where does that fight happen? Like, in your mind, surely.
Miami, December 19th.
Exclusive, mother.
No, it's not. It's been reported.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously from that perspective, how is that even a fight? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's. Jake Paul has everything to gain from this, and Anthony has a lot of money to gain from this.
Right.
Not the same thing.
Right. But
if he doesn't destroy
this, Khalid,
destroy Jake Paul into like absolute retirement.
Yes.
Then no one's going to be happy. They're going to think, oh, he's done. That's it. So there's, as much as this fight isn't, quote, on paper, the best fight, it's a pressure fight.
Right.
Because there is pressure. See all my
you're good.
My lint from this top flying around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure.
Right.
To do just that.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to be happy.
The points,
with a 10-rounder, 8-rounder.
Yeah.
With Jake Paul, and he doesn't knock him out.
Absolutely. He has to do it.
He could batter his face in and have, have you seen that where Martin Lawrence had like the marks, the bumps everywhere?
Yeah.
He can batter him that bad, but if he's not knocked out, people are not going to be happy.
Yeah. But do you expect that to happen? He's got to knock him out. But then I would be like, why is Jake Paul even taking that fight then? That don't make
Well, what
no
I
sense.
will say is that there were rumors that Jake Paul pulled out of the fight with Gervonta because he was afraid of Gervonta.
Right.
Well, we could put that to rest because now you're throwing in Anthony Joshua.
Right.
Who's way bigger.
Right.
Because it was the other way around
Exactly.
last time. Like.
So why would he take that fight? Part of me thinks it's just a press or hype and just building it up just to.
Because Jake Paul's crazy.
He's not that. Is he that crazy?
Yes, you have to be that crazy to do these things. Like, imagine the level of confidence this man has. I wish I had that.
I don't know about that.
He's so confident.
Is he deluded? There's a fine line.
Would you call him deluded? Okay, let's put it this way. I understand that Mike Tyson was old. And I never thought I never saw that as like a fair fight at all. I don't care what anyone, I couldn't believe that people were actually going, Mike Tyson's going to block him out.
Right.
Oh my God, bro. I love me some Mike. I love Mike. But there's no way because he was just, it was father time.
Right.
It's nothing to do with Mike in this prime, ain't no way.
Right.
But it is what it is. When you're younger, you can run more laps. You can do a lot more. Your body recovers faster.
Yeah.
You can train and your muscles will recover faster than someone who's older. It is what it is. And so I think that the fact that he was able to share the ring, even be ballsy enough to risk the idea that maybe Mike could knock him out.
Yeah.
He did it. And he's done a lot. I mean, think about it this way. I think people are expecting so much more of Jake because he's Jake.
Right.
Because he talks a lot of crap, or he has all this confidence. It's irritating people. But Jake is really, what's his record? Like 9-0 or something? Like
right,
or 9-1? Come on. He's still, you would never see any other fighter doing this with that minimal of fights on his record.
Absolutely.
So because he's Jake Paul, there's this expectation to want to see him in the ring instantly with the biggest names. But now that he's 4 years in, and he's about to share the ring with Anthony Joshua, or at one point even thinking that it was going to happen with Gervonta Davis, like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit there.
No, I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
I want to see it happen. I really need to see this happen.
But people watch Jake Paul's fights to see him get knocked out.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. I think like people will continue to keep paying as long as he can continue going on through his career without being absolutely sparked out cold.
Right.
People will continue to watch, much like the Mayweather effect when Mayweather was fighting. People bought the pay-per-views because they wanted to believe that the guy he was sharing the ring with was going to be the first one to spark him out.
Absolutely.
And that is that's what makes their pay-per-views successful.
But now aren't they doing Floyd versus Tyson?
Well, now I'm hearing Floyd versus Pacquiao because Pacquiao said that they're doing a fight.
So is Floyd and Tyson out the window? Would you want to see that? Really?
No.
That's what I mean.
No, because and they're not just that. It's Floyd is still in really good shape for his age. And he's been, because of him being such a skilled defensive fighter, he doesn't have a whole lot of wear and tear like some of the other guys. And then you throw in the age factor, and then they were two completely different weight classes. Like it's just.
But they were both pushing the fight though.
But that didn't make sense to me. But a rematch with Pacquiao would make sense.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? Because at this point, we keep hearing all these different things and nothing's actually happening. So I don't know. Because they haven't had like an official...
But they posted on the Instagram, haven't they, both of them?
Yeah, but that's them saying they're willing to do it. But where's the promotion for it?
Right. But if that happened, would you be annoyed? Like, do you still have to just take out your own personal thing about it and still do the present?
If I do it, I'm not going to be covering every single fight. I'm not doing the same...
Right.
thing I was doing before the burnout.
Right.
It's picking. Changing. You're picking. Yes, I'll pick and choose what I'm going to do.
And what is it that you look for when you pick?
It's just what's... Timing?
Yeah. The fight itself.
Timing?
And opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah, looking at the fight and seeing like, okay, would I be able to get the access there? I don't want to go during a media week just to go be ringside at a fight. That doesn't do it for me. I'd rather be at home in my PJs, watching the fight.
We've established that.
So yeah. So it's not even about being ringside and doing it. It's like, well, can I get access? Could I actually do something while I'm there? Because if the idea is that I'm going there and I'm not able to get a single interview, then it wastes my time.
So the AJ fight is when?
December 19th, Friday.
Isn't the Andrew Tate fight on the same day?
20th.
Right. Where are you going?
I don't know where I'm going.
What do you think about the Tate fight? Is that something? Is that a bit of you? Or do you think that's just? I don't know.
I mean, everyone's saying it's going to be like, it's going to do really well in numbers.
It should do, yeah.
So, I mean, I think there's a lot of talk around Andrew Tate, and so I could see him being fun media week with whatever he wants to say.
Yeah. But what would you pick then? Where would you go?
If it was a choice between the two, it'd be Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that? Just a bigger draw?
It's closer.
Oh,
and it's
that's
right
it.
around.
I'll be home in my PJs and by the next day.
Yeah, and I'll get to be home within a few days of Christmas and not having to do international travel.
Yeah.
But, who knows? I might be able to, if the opportunity for Dubai was there, then and the Miami one wasn't, and I wanted to do it, who knows? But if I had to choose between the two, it'd be Miami.
How much time have you got? Do you want to check? Because I've got a last bit of questions, but if you
I don't even know what time it is.
It's 12:40.
Oh, okay.
You got time?
Yeah, I think leaving around.
Listen, if you don't make it to the airport, don't come. You know what I mean?
No. I thought.
No, I think you're good, but I want you to say it. I don't want to be the guy to say it. Do you get what I mean?
No, that's fine. As long as I can get out of here about between like 1:30.
Oh yeah.
1:30ish.
You're good. Okay. I've got this last thing. You'll like this.
Yeah.
This is AI.
Okay.
AI has made some questions for you.
Oh.
I've started this. Don't steal my shit. You know what I mean? So this is AI. We probably answered some of them, but yeah, I really find this really good. If you don't answer, don't answer it. You came into boxing media at a time when it was male dominated. What's the hardest truth about breaking it that people still don't understand?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So probably that there's still stigma around women in sports.
Right. Do you think that stigma can be fixed, or do you think it's just...
No, I think it's so deeply ingrained.
Yeah.
And I say this respectfully, but I say it like it's so deeply ingrained in men.
Yeah.
That I don't think they'll ever fully accept us in sports. Like fully go.
Right.
She knows what she's doing.
Right. I hear you. You've interviewed everyone from Mayweather to Canelo. Who was the most disappointing interview and why? See, AI be asking these questions. You know?
Is this chat?
It's not me. Yeah, it's chat.
Is the homie chat?
Yeah. You want to answer that or swerve it?
Disappointing?
That's what it says.
God, I don't know.
I don't want you to ruin your future career by
No. I'm genuinely searching. Like I'm going through like the archives right now, and I'm trying to think if there was a moment where I was so disappointed, but I don't think there was.
No.
No.
All right. Behind the Gloves changed the new media game. What's the biggest mistake traditional boxing media still makes?
I don't think that there is enough credit to how much YouTube boxing has helped the landscape of how PR is done now.
Yeah.
You know, it really helps to be pushed on various outlets. It's like having a commercial only play on one station. It's not going to be as broad. So sometimes there are certain times where they want to control where it's seen, but not everyone's there. So I think the idea to broaden the access a bit, to give opportunity for it to be seen in various channels helps them, because I think that's what made us do so well then, was like there was like a select 5 or 6 of us, and we were always covering everyone's careers, and it wasn't just one person, it was all of us. And it really did play into like part of the I wouldn't say the success, but some of the how do you say it, like the people were able to become more familiar. So for example, I'm from the US. My channel was US, UK based, but there was a time where people didn't know who Anthony Joshua was in America.
Right.
And I'm doing interviews with heavyweight fighters mentioning Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it helps
Totally.
to broaden like where or who gets access and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You split your time between Manchester and the States. What's the real difference between UK boxing culture and US boxing culture?
US, because it's bigger and there's more sports, I find that boxing doesn't always have the same type of loyal fan base as the UK does.
Right.
You guys really get behind your guys, whereas we get guys that are like trying to throw stuff at you outside of the ring. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't have the performance they wanted you to have.
What's one fighter interview you regret doing or regret not doing?
There's been a few times where I think fighters have misunderstood the questions.
Right.
And they were kind of rude to me. But it was genuinely just a misunderstanding, and I feel like I'm like, you know, whoa.
How do you handle that? Do you clear it up afterwards, or
I'm always the bigger person.
Right.
I always try to be.
Yeah.
But I can't make somebody want to be cool with me if they have their preconceived idea of what was going on. Like, I have never been the person to like try to do an interview to catch you up, slip you up, just to get like a popular headline. Like, I'm just always there trying to be fair. And I think that there's been a couple of times where I felt really misunderstood, maybe because they heard it differently, or maybe I did say it a certain way, but that was never the intention.
You've spoken about facing harassment just for doing your job. What's one moment that nearly made you walk away from the boxing media altogether?
It didn't make me walk away, but it was really disturbing that at some point I had people going around with a rumor, this was many years ago, that said that I did a sex tape with 2 fans after a fight, and I let them record me. And they were sending screenshots of who was supposed to be me to my 11-year-old nephew.
Oh, wow.
And on socials. And he was so traumatized because he's obviously never seen me naked, so he doesn't know what I look like.
Right.
And so he's just thinking, why are they sending me these pictures? And they're saying, and they were sending it to everybody. They were literally going, this is Michelle Joy Phelps, and they were sending it to all, like every fighter, everybody you could think of, all their DMs.
Right.
And when I caught wind of it and I looked at it, first of all, I knew it wasn't true just from the get. Like, I'm like, that's not happening. Like, you think I'm going to go meet 2 random fight fans and let them tape me? Like, you're an idiot. But then my sister had called me and said that my nephew was crying because he was like so traumatized.
Right.
And they were like saying, we're going to destroy your aunt's life. And so I saw the photos, stills of the video. And I said to him, I had to call him, and I said, baby, it's okay. It's not me. Just letting you know, your auntie has a low back tattoo. This girl doesn't. She's a little more fair-skinned than I am.
Right.
And she has a way bigger butt than I do.
So is her face not in this picture?
No, they were just showing like back shots.
But that's crazy, right?
But again, how is he supposed to know? He doesn't know what I look like nude. So I told him that, and I go, don't worry. I said, in fact, I hope they do release this video because it's not me.
Right. But that must be so bad, like when it's going out to everyone, the whole industry, they're just trying to tarnish you.
Yeah, I had many people come to me and say that. And I have an idea of who it was.
Right.
Because somebody slipped up years later by making a comment to somebody that I clocked.
So do you not want to out them?
No.
Because this is like pure sabotage.
Yeah, no, it absolutely was. And this is what happens. And again, those are things people don't see behind the scenes and they don't understand. And that's what I went through. I went through a lot of that. A lot of people were photoshopping images of my face on porn. And it was a very obvious Photoshop, meaning
these days with AI, my God.
No.
But can you imagine
AI now is different, but I'm saying back then it was very obvious. So it wasn't like they were trying to make it out that it really was me. They were being more hurtful than trying to act like it was really me.
Right.
But again, those were the things that I had to go through continuously, and them trying to tag. I remember at the time. I had somebody who was threatening me in my DMs by saying, I'm going to message your employers and tell them this and this and this about you, and all lies. And I'm just like, this is so dangerous. And I didn't care. I'd gone to, at the time, I went to the person that I was doing broadcasts for, and I told them what was going on. And I go, I just want you to know, these are these people going around saying that there's a sex tape of me. It's not real. If you happen to get a message, I want you to know I filed a police report. And I found out we were actually able to trace the area that the IP address was coming from. And it was in Philadelphia.
Right.
But anyways, that's kind of where it ended, because after the police got involved, they kind of like laid low. But
then do you feel like a pressure you have to come out and make a statement? Or
no, because I knew it wasn't me. If they were to release it, it would be like, well, that's not me.
Right. But it must be.
I was so confident. It's not me. Yeah. So if you want to, in fact, I said, I release it.
Yeah.
Like, please release the video.
Yeah.
So that people will see it's not me.
But it must be awful, people trying to take you down and go to such...
But that's what I went through in the very early stages of my career. And
Right.
that's why I'm saying, like, there's been a lot of times those things have occurred and no one really understood what I was going through.
And it must be scary now with AI. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that,
That's
you know,
like-
you're starting to see a lot of laws being implemented, but it's
Yeah.
very dangerous what's happening.
That's-
Because I even see, like, celebrities are making videos of them, like, just even talking to each other, and they're not
Yeah,
real. And I'm
yeah.
like, I don't even know how this has become legal
Yeah.
to be able to use someone else's likeness that way.
Because
It's strange.
because you aren't really here. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
Yeah, you're in fucking God knows where.
Right.
This is AI, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Michael Jackson rap, for God's sake. What the fuck's happening? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it is scary.
Yeah.
If every woman working in boxing could know one thing about the industry before entering it, what would you tell them?
I always say that everyone loves you until you're doing well.
So you must be hated.
I wouldn't say I'm hated. I think a lot of times people act like they like me, but they're still talking about me.
Right. Have any fighters, promoters, managers ever crossed the line with you behind the scenes? And how did you handle
It's
it?
happened with all of us.
Right. When this says crossed the line, what does that imply?
Some form of sexual harassment, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And that happens to you.
All of us.
What do you mean all of us? You're the only female.
No, there's other women.
Right.
We've talked about it. There's other women. We've all talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you should say something, or do you feel like you can't?
You can't.
Why can't you?
Yeah, you'll lose every opportunity you have.
That's sad in itself. Do you know what I mean?
It's a fact, though. You'll be blackballed. That's it. Game over for you.
And there's no one you can talk to help stop all this. It's just part of it. It's
Don't
just
get me
sad that
wrong.
you've-
Don't get me wrong. It's not happening every single event. But have
But
I
it's
said it's
happened to
happened?
you, right?
Oh yeah.
How many times happened to you?
More times than I can count.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
got to have a psychological effect of some sort. Do you know what I mean? And you have to take it. You can't talk to them from that. You can't. That's awful.
There's been a few conversations with me and a few other women where we've talked about how we almost have to act like and act like it never happened.
Right.
It's unfair, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You almost got to act like, oh, it's okay that I'm rejecting you right now, even though you're being really creepy with me. But it's okay. Ha 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 ha. And then we act like it never happened.
Wow. Well, your OnlyFans announcement went viral. What's the biggest misconception people have about that you're actually doing on there? Are you on OnlyFans?
No, I was. So this is right before everyone started signing their like sponsorships with OnlyFans. So OnlyFans was actually getting people to sign up with them that were not doing the other
X-rated stuff. Okay, right.
Because they feel like they've been pigeonholed. And so they were looking to expand, which is why you see a lot of fighters being sponsored by OnlyFans. That doesn't
Right.
mean they're on there doing it.
Right. They want to break the
But
stigma.
they want it. That's what they were hoping for. And so at the time, like I said, my before I had done Maxim, FHM, so swimsuits, lingerie, that stuff was never weird for me because that was what I did before boxing.
Yeah.
So I think I think people often go, oh, that's, it's like this or like that. But I think the initial, like the first month I made the most money. And then
How much you make?
$30K.
For this lingerie?
For literally nothing. And you know why? It's because people went on there because they were curious.
Right.
But as soon as they realize that nothing's popping, like you're dropping in
Right. And then how much you...
and then you keep people on there who are actually really quite kind and were like, look, I'm just a fan. I've always been a fan, whatever.
So what did it go to? 30K to what?
Easily averaged anywhere from 10, 15 a month.
Well, that's good then. And you've come off it.
And that was literally just that I was still doing all these other things like boxing. So
Right.
it was just an extra income for me.
But when you said I'm going on OnlyFans, there was a stigma, wasn't it? People just thought, hold on.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Yeah. But again, if you were even on there, you realize it wasn't ever anything that you were never going to get a nude. You were never going to get any porn. It just So basically, the pictures that I would normally post on Instagram, I would just put them on there and you make money off of it.
Right.
So either give it away for free on Instagram or even if you only make £50 that day, right?
Yeah.
You made £50 that you didn't have that day
Absolutely.
by giving it for free. So the way I saw it was like, well, if there are people out there that are willing to pay for photos that they're not going to get on Instagram, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what I did. So I got off of it because believe it or not, it really is like a full-time job. So the amount of times you have to produce so many photo shoots. And again, like I said, I hated modeling.
Right.
I hated it.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I got to do more, more and more and more, because you had to constantly put out what I call like the digital like sets, right? Like they're like the digital magazines. And it just got old for me. Like I just didn't want to do it anymore.
But to turn down 15K a month to do something that you're completely comfortable with makes me think, how much money are you making, girl?
No, but that's the thing, is it really was extra money in my pocket. And
that's a lot of extra money.
No, it was a lot of extra money, but I just didn't want to do it anymore. And then as I was busy enough, I was back in school. I just had too much going on. To keep your subscribers happy, you have to produce enough content to make them happy, but then you don't have the time.
But you could just, in theory, do like a week's worth of photo shoot that'll give you like 6 months of content and just put a photo out when you
Doesn't
want.
work. You would think that would be the case,
I
because
don't
I
know.
used
I don't
to
know
do.
about OnlyFans, sorry.
I used to do like one day, do like, 7 or 8 different looks,
Right.
and that doesn't last long
Right.
at all. Like
Right.
you're like a week and a half later, you're back.
But it's nice to know that if you ever want to earn 15 grand a month, you
Well, I
can
don't
just
know.
go back to that shit.
Again, I don't
and
know.
not travel and do all this stuff.
Yeah, I can't. Now, looking back, I would never have done it because of where like my life has gone. I feel like, and I don't want people to feel like I'm making anyone else feel badly about it, because your decision is your decision. We're to each their own. But now I look back and with my faith, I felt like I was causing men to sin.
Right, I hear that.
So I felt like I would never do that again, because I'm a bit more reserved in that area now.
Totally understand.
As that's evolved.
What did you spend the 30 on though? You know what I mean? Well, what did you buy, girl? Okay, you've said the goal was to support your parents and build a retirement home. Why do you think people judge women differently when they monetize their image?
That's a really good question, because
I'm full of them.
that's a good question because there was actually a guy he did a video on Instagram that I saw not long ago that went viral.
Right.
And he goes, I don't understand the difference between a woman in her bra and underwear and in a bikini.
Right.
Where, oh my God, she's in her bra and underwear, but then she could be half naked at a pool with a bunch of people around, but that's different.
Right.
So I think it's really just based on how we want to look at it, because you get people over in Europe who go, showing your breasts isn't a big deal.
Right.
It's not a big, people don't even think twice. But then in America, or maybe even here, they're like, hey, that's a bit, So who knows? I think it just depends on each person and how they view it.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to me how we could be in a bikini, which are oftentimes even more skimpier than your actual underwear, and it's still looked at differently.
Just don't try that shit in Saudi, please.
Yeah, I know.
I don't need to read that. You don't need to read that. The show was the last ever interview with me. No, I don't. Your post Maxim-esque content, but no nudity. Have you ever felt pressured by fans or industry people to go further? I think you answered that.
Yeah, I've never felt pressure. I think that the idea is I would have made a heck of a lot more money if I did do it, but I just never would. I mean, even back in the day, there was still a boundary.
Yeah.
And so I've always kept the boundary.
I hear that. What's been the most surprising message or interaction you've had on OnlyFans?
Surprising?
You must have got some crazy DMs.
No, there were, but believe it or not, I've always been quite polite to make sure that
This doesn't go.
hey, look, like I'm just, but before you even subscribe, there was a disclaimer.
Right.
So I never misled people.
Right.
I said, this is what you're getting. You're not, do
know,
not
people
ask.
would
It
try it
literally
though, innit?
says, do not ask.
But they'll ask.
Yeah, but some people they almost get frustrated going, oh, this is a waste of money. And I was like, mate, let me give you your money back. I would literally give people their money back, like for the subscription, and say, because you clearly need it more than I do. If this is a big deal, and even after you saw the disclaimer that said there is absolutely no nudes, no porn, do not ask, and you feel like you're disappointed, then let me do you a favor, and then I would give them their money back and I'd block them. Like, just please don't come back.
Did you get some crazy offers for money though? Did someone offer some?
Of course, there's always there. But you know what though? Some of the crazy offers I had didn't even come from OnlyFans. They were coming from like Instagram. Instagram's worse.
Really?
I think Instagram is worse. I think people who are on OnlyFans, if they're paying to be a subscriber of your content, they're genuinely your fan.
Right.
Because they're paying.
Right, yeah. Instagram's
just full of just randos who just say the most craziest things sometimes.
What's the most craziest thing that you can say without getting me kicked off?
No, there's just people out there that I'll pay you to do this or I'll pay you for that, and it's just like, bro, you're so weird. That's disgusting. Like, please stop.
Behind the Gloves grew into a powerhouse. What was the moment you realized you weren't just a reporter, you were a brand? See, I've got some good questions.
I don't know, maybe back to what we were saying when people were asking for photos or something.
If YouTube boxing media died tomorrow, what would your next move be?
Be a lawyer.
Oh yeah, true. You've interviewed legends, made documentaries, run a platform, and now created a paranormal podcast. What's the real long-term vision for Michelle Joy Phelps?
Well, I was supposed to start the paranormal podcast, but I never got around to it.
Right.
But sorry, what was the
What's
question?
the real long-term vision?
I know, sorry,
no,
got so much lint.
No.
The long-term vision is going to be becoming an attorney.
Yeah.
That's my retirement plan.
And would you leave this whole stuff for it?
The thing is, somebody asked me that yesterday, and I said, I'm not going to say yes or no, because you still see people, like, what harm does it for me if I had an opportunity to do something?
Absolutely.
But I'm a lawyer as well. Like, it doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have to choose one or the other. But I have the ability, like, if I was supposed, let's just say, for example, there happened to be a show and there's a panel, and then they have different people on there, but I could speak from the perspective of from an attorney.
Yeah.
And what's going on in a situation. You could, there's different ways to play with that in the future.
You describe yourself as a follower of Jesus Christ. How do you balance faith with the chaos, controversy, and temptations of the boxing world?
I would say it's fine. I don't have issues at all.
Yeah.
And temptation, I think, is everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't really see it that way.
What's one thing people always assume about you that's completely wrong?
I think people think that, I don't know. I think, and I don't think most people. I think that there's a group of people online that obviously want to always assume that you're like promiscuous and you must be with all these people, and but that's so far from opposite.
Yeah.
Like, so far from opposite. I have been celibate for a very long time, and I've been this way. I don't have any intention of not being. And I'm proud of that. It's just a choice that I just don't put myself out there like that. And I think that people, because they see me always out at one point, like at events and stuff, they might have thought maybe I party a lot, or maybe have a bit more of a social life than I actually have.
Yeah.
But like, the truth is, like, between, homework, family, I have 2 large tortoises like this big at home. So they're like, I have a puppy. I don't have, like, for me, that's my life.
Yeah. What's been your biggest personal insecurity while growing your public profile, and how did you overcome it?
People were really mean by pointing out my flaws.
Right.
So, like, how I looked.
Right.
I had a friend recently say to me, I think it was about a year ago, she's like, why I decided to kind of like pull back a bit, and how I've been a bit, she started to see the cracks of what I was experiencing. And she goes, girl, have you ever stopped to think about how much abuse you've had to tolerate for over a decade? And you've never once caved to it. You've just dealt with it. And she's like, you're feeling what you're feeling now because you're almost like the residual effect of it.
Yeah.
Like those things have sometimes put me in a headspace that I shouldn't have been in. Maybe made me think about things that I shouldn't have to be thinking about. But like, rather than it being me just showing up and doing my job, it was somehow about my nose was too big, or she has gained weight, or well, she looks awful. It was always something about how I looked or how I dressed, or it was never about like the quality of what I was trying to produce.
Yeah.
And so I think that was one of the hardest things. At one point, it was the hardest thing.
If you could expose one secret about boxing, about how the boxing industry really works, what would it be?
If you can make it in the boxing industry, you can make it in any industry.
Right.
Because it's hard.
I hear that. I'm going to speed it up because I'm just worried about your flight.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing is full of creeps behind the scenes. Has anyone had the power? Look, has anyone with power in the sport ever tried to get their position to get something from you? You kind of answered that, haven't you? Do you think women in boxing media get hired more for looks than talent? And has that ever worked against you?
I think today, one of the things that people are, and this is across the board, by the way, because I know this from the entertainment industry, from friends of mine who are like actors and stuff. It's not always about the experience that you have, but like how many followers you got.
Right.
So sometimes now you're hired because you're an influencer that has 1 million followers as opposed to you being best for the job.
Yeah. You faced online harassment for years. Has any of it come from inside the boxing industry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Okay. We won't go there. Have you launched, when you launched OnlyFans, did anyone in boxing try to shame you publicly while privately subscribing? Oh my God.
Yeah, there were some boxing channels that wanted to say this and say that, but ultimately I've always believed that whenever people have really taken the time to like hate on you, they're really like secret fans.
Yeah, I hate
That's
that.
just the truth.
You interview world champions, but do you think some fighters avoid you because they're intimidated by a strong woman with a platform?
No.
No. What's the most unethical thing you personally witnessed in the boxing media, something fans would be shocked to know?
Unethical? Probably people being blacklisted for having an opinion.
Right.
Which I don't think is fair, because I think that just goes against what media is.
Yeah.
Media is supposed to provide like a broad perspective of what's going on. So sometimes people might categorize me as more like a cookie cutter interviewer.
What does that mean, cookie cutter?
The cookie cutter meaning like it's nice.
Okay.
It's fluffy.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are really there to like really dive into the nitty gritty. So if there's any controversy, they're not afraid to ask you.
Right.
And then I've noticed that a lot of people have been blacklisted in the industry.
They crossed their boundaries, kind of thing.
I was blacklisted once too. There's a saying between all of us that you've not really made it until you've been blacklisted once.
Right. And you've been blacklisted?
Yeah, but it went away like 6 months later.
Okay.
We're all good.
Who was it?
I'm not going to say.
I do. A lot of fans say YouTube boxing journalists pick sides. Has a promoter or fighter ever offered you money, access, or exclusives to stay loyal?
No, never.
Which big name boxing personality is completely fake? One way on camera, total opposite off camera.
Completely fake. I feel like a lot of them are just because there's a persona.
Right.
They act tough and this, oh, this is that, and then off camera they're totally chill.
If you expose your top 3 secrets about how boxing really operates behind closed doors, who would be the most scared? What? That's some bullshit. Should we leave that?
No.
Right. 30 quick fire questions and we're done. Thank you for your time. You've been amazing. Favorite fighter to interview?
I don't have a favorite fighter.
Okay, well, the next one's least favorite fighter. You want to answer that? Most intimidating person in boxing?
I know you're supposed to be quick. Intimidating.
Yep.
Skip. I don't think there's anything
Okay,
intimidating.
most underrated fighter today.
This isn't very fun for me, is it?
No? Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying like I don't know. Like
Okay, the next one's most overrated. Was for that. UK boxing or US boxing?
Oh, you can't do that to me.
I just did.
Don't do that to me.
Okay, I won't do it to you. If you could only interview one fighter forever, who is it? No, Swerve. Yeah, this is all a bit like name one fighter, one promoter you trust, one promoter you don't trust, biggest diva you've ever interviewed.
Oh, see, this is all like, I can't be throwing people in
This
like
is
that.
Clickbait, that's what I mean, that's what I mean. Most genuine person in the sport. Can you do that?
Oh, you know what? Somebody who's really, really nice and like everybody agrees, like collectively, one of the nicest fighters in boxing is Joseph Parker.
Okay. There was a recent thing about him.
Yeah.
Can you shine any comment or you?
No,
you don't,
I don't know anything.
You don't do it. One interview you're most proud of.
I'd probably say the one that I did post fight in the ring with Usyk.
Yeah. Better interview, Mayweather or Canelo?
Canelo, because I've had more time with Canelo.
One rumor in boxing that you believe is 100% true. No.
A rumor that I believe is true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One rumor in boxing that you know is total nonsense.
Sorry, this isn't
No,
like...
it's fine. One thing boxing media should stop doing immediately.
Stop doing immediately. I don't know.
Saying hey fight fans because it's yours. So stop saying that shit. One thing boxing fans get completely wrong. No, forget that. Most uncomfortable question you've ever been asked.
Like on camera or just in general?
Yeah, on camera. You can go.
I think somebody's asked. Well, I've had somebody ask me if I was gay, and that was because they never see me dating anyone.
Right.
But I was like, bro, it's because you're never going to see me on social media
Right.
dating somebody.
Right.
So you won't even know if they exist.
And if you was to date someone, that's completely private. You would never make that public.
Right. I have dated people. No one's ever graced anything with me. I just don't. Do you know what it is too? A big part of that for me is, and again, no shame on anyone else. It's just my personal preference is that when I do marry somebody, I want there to only be the images of me and him online or anywhere.
Right.
So I'm not, oh, you've dated these people and there's images online of me with other men.
Right.
So I try to always keep it.
You're waiting for
photo,
the one.
Well, right. So then when I get married, you'll probably just see a
wedding
picture of me
so
like
yes,
being
fine.
married, and then that's who you're going to see moving forward, you know?
Right. I hear you. One place you wish boxing took you but hasn't yet.
Ooh.
Bali.
I want to go to Tokyo, even though the boxing has recently gone to Tokyo and I wasn't able to go.
Right.
But I wish we would do something there.
Right.
Tokyo.
Okay. What's the weirdest DM you've ever received?
There's so many, bro.
3 words to describe your OnlyFans content.
G-rated.
Well, what's G-rated? Is that an American
That's like
thing?
like it's not even a big deal. Like G-rated is basically like it's not going to offend anybody.
Okay, right. PG.
PG, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, PG. Well, that's literally what we said.
Yeah.
But if you still subscribed and expected anything more than that, I'm sorry.
No, it's true.
I don't know. That was so long. I haven't been on that in years.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Let's get moving. If you could ban one thing from the boxing industry, what would it be?
Ban one thing from the boxing industry.
Yeah.
That's not banning. Limited access, I guess, on fight night.
One thing about you people always get wrong.
I don't know. I think people think that I'm wild.
Right. And last question, if you left boxing tomorrow, what job would you be doing instead? We know that, don't we?
Well, now.
Yeah, lawyer.
But if I didn't go that route,
Right.
I probably still would have somehow ended up in the entertainment scene in terms of like
Hosting, potentially.
something like that.
I hear you. I think we've covered everything. Is there anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to add?
No.
I want to say thank you for your time.
Yeah,
It's been
thank you.
absolutely lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you giving your time so early in the morning, and you've got a flight to catch. It's been lovely, yeah. It's been really nice. It's nice to get it out there in the open, and with the kind of the mental health stuff, I really hope you can keep,
me too.
curb that and keep strong and just make. I'm hoping this putting it out there, people will start to realise what's going on, and it's lovely to see the facets of what really goes on behind someone that's always on the camera smiling and stuff like that. So long may that continue.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
God bless you. We out. Peace.